Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Hi,
Good
Jenny.
morning.
How are you?
Good.
I almost didn't come in today because I had the Embiid flu. Yeah.
Something's going around.
I got it.
Something.
I got it. There's no cure
Which
for it.
version?
I don't know. Should I be hospitalized?
Mahalo, that shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you so? You're fashion obsessed.
How can you give this guy a hard time about his shirt?
You like that?
Is that brown?
Yeah.
Brown
The
and blue.
colors we see
brown
from
and
you?
blue clash.
No, they don't.
Bad
No.
idea. Yeah. Sorry. How are
I
you?
like it. It's fun and different.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like
You look
everything.
fine too,
That's
Shannon.
okay.
How long you gonna be a hater? At some point in time, you gotta stop this.
Why is this camera so close?
I don't know,
Because-
we got a
Is
lot
that
to
a new
talk
deal?
about.
It's
We
getting
wanna
close.
make
It's
sure that
getting
we
close
get
up
in.
with that shirt.
Really?
Okay, we have a lot to get to on today's show. Will James Harden and the Rockets pull the upset tonight? And will Kyrie and LeBron reunite this summer? I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But let's start in Toronto. The Raptors hosted the Sixers in a crucial Game 5 last night, but this one wasn't even close. Toronto won by 36 behind another solid performance from Kawhi Leonard, who had 21 points, 13 rebounds. Joel Embiid has been battling a respiratory infection, and he struggled again, finishing with just 13 points to go along with 8 turnovers. Let's take a listen to Embiid on what went wrong for the Sixers.
He sucks. I know I got to do a better job for us to win. I got to do the little things. When I'm needed to score the ball, I got to show up, setting screens. I got to do a better job of rebounding the ball. So that's on me. Can't control my physical condition, but I can also control how much I push myself, and I try to do that. But I just gotta do more.
All right, Shannon, what happened to the Sixers?
Well, the Sixers didn't bring it, Skip. I think the Raptors realized the magnitude of this game. Normally, when the series is tied 2-2, the winner of Game 5 goes on to win 82% of the time. The Raptors did not want to lose this game, go back on the road to Philly with the chance of being eliminated. So they came out and played for the full 48, until the Sixers gave up. And that's what they did. They beat them into submission. Skip, and Joel Embiid deserves some criticism here. He deserves a lot of criticism because he's not performing. And what's the old adage, Skip? All I know, the only thing I know, this is what I know. Number 21 for the Philadelphia 76ers is Joel Embiid. I see him on the court. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So he getting 12 points, he getting 14 points, and he's playing like that. I don't know why. And it's unimportant to why. The fact of the matter is he's their best player. He's probably going to be first-team All-NBA as the big, he or Joker. That's what we know. He's an all-star, and he's not playing like it, Skip. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it just 2 games ago we were talking about it? If Joel Embiid is not mentioned with the Pantheon great bigs, it's a crime?
That's true.
Just 2 games ago, and now we're supposed to have sympathy. Oh, he's sick. He got to do a better job. Nah, bruh. No. See, Joel Embiid, and we're going to talk about this a little later, Skip, he thinks it's all about just playing in the game. He doesn't realize that the game is actually played before you actually played the game. But here's a guy that's going unscathed. It's Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Skip, this is atrocious what he's doing. He's averaging 9 points a game. He averaged 17 in the regular season. He averaged 9 rebounds. He's averaging 7. He averaged 8 assists. He's averaging 4. Skip, he had more turnovers than assists last night. And the thing is, the Raptors know he can't shoot the ball, but now he's even afraid. He's afraid to shoot, Skip. 5 field goal attempts in a game of this magnitude for the second best player, your all-star, this is unacceptable. But Joel Embiid is the best player. They go, and if you remember, Skip, it was just also 2 days ago. You remember, Skip, he was airplaning? He was kissing everybody, and now he doubled up on the side. Oh, my tum-tum. Oh, I don't know if I can make it, Skip. I don't know how we'll get to the other end. No, that's not how it works, Joel Embiid. You don't get to use, well, I got a virus, or I got this, or I got that. No, that's unacceptable. These are the playoffs, and this is how you make your name. This is how you cut you want a legacy? Play well right now when you're going through something. Skip, if Michael Jordan would have done what he did in, what was that, Game 6? It was Game 5, the flu game was Game 5. We put so much more emphasis because it was the flu game and he fought through something. If he didn't have the flu and he did what he did, we'd say, okay, that was another. But it was how he performed under duress and through adversity. And Joel Embiid needs to understand that.
My turn.
Yes.
I have said all season long that once LeBron James went from the East to the West, the new beast of the East is Joel Embiid. The Sixers go as Joel Embiid goes. This series goes as Joel Embiid goes because he is far more valuable than number 2 is for Toronto. And back to your point, it was just 6 nights ago that Mark Jackson said on ESPN it would be a crime if down the road we didn't put Joel Embiid's name in the all-time discussion of best big men ever.
Pantheon.
And then last night was nothing but a crime, period, to have to watch that. This has become the most mysterious development I can ever remember in the NBA playoffs. And I've been doing this for a long time because last night I have never seen a superstar, and he is a superstar already, I've never seen a superstar so out of it from tip-off. He looked drugged, as in heavily sedated. I don't know. I can't explain any of it, but all I know is that he was so out of it that 3 times he threw cross-court passes to nobody. 3 times Joel Embiid looked across the court and looked like he went blind and threw it into the far 4th row. What are you doing? It's incomprehensible how bad that was. And then 3 other times he began to dribble the ball into the defender as if he was asking the defender, would you please steal this ball from me so I don't have to figure out what to do with this basketball? Those are 6 of the turnovers. He had 8 total turnovers last night, and it looked like at one point he was on course to break James Harden's all-time playoff turnover record of 12 that he suffered in the closeout Game 5 against Golden State at Golden State in 2015. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Ignominious night. So, TNT showed before the game Joel Embiid, quote unquote, I'm going to put quotes around, walking into the arena, but he looked like he was the walking dead. And Brett Brown said he basically got up off his quote unquote deathbed, that he had a significant temperature that caused him to miss not only the shoot around, but the film session yesterday afternoon at the hotel. And that leads to question number 1. How bad is he?
Yeah.
Does he have West Nile virus? Does he have the bird flu? Does he have some undiagnosed malady that should require hospitalization? I'm serious. This has been going on for 2 weeks.
Or don't play at all.
Okay, well, I'm to that point. And if you remember, at the end of the show yesterday, I said, you know what? If he's still suffering, and again, I think it could be the knee flu also. I think he's got the chronically arthritic knees that just come and go. But whatever his condition is, why not just shut him down, at least for Game 5 at Toronto? Because you do have the fallback Game 6 back at your place.
Correct.
So why don't you give him the night off? If he has to get up off his quote-unquote deathbed and he can't attend any of the film session or the shoot-around, why wouldn't you ask your team to pull together the way they did for Game 3 at Brooklyn? There was no Joel that night. And to your point about Ben Simmons, what happened that night? Did he not rise and shine at Brooklyn? He had been called out. There were wanted posters for him outside, missing in action posters. And he went for 31 points, and he had 11 of 13 shots that night, and Philly looked like a different team. It looked like Boston last year in the playoffs with no Kyrie when they pulled together. They united in the wake of Kyrie, or in this case, in the wake of Joel Embiid, and said, watch this. I still say it's a talented basketball team, to your point, without Joel Embiid. And yet last night, not only did he play, he kept on playing. And what drove me the craziest was, this game was out of hand in the second quarter.
Yeah.
It was 37-17 in the second quarter. It got so bad early in the second quarter that I tweeted at one point, Sixers will lose this game by 25. And then I watched one more clock minute of the game, and I immediately amended that tweet, and I said, no, they're going to lose by 40. And guess what? with 2:24 left in the game, they were down by 40. Are you believing that? Do you realize that they haven't lost a playoff game in Philadelphia this badly in 37 years? 37 years. You have to go back to game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And that was the Sixers of, remember?
Dr. J.
Dr. J and Tony, and you remember that group? And it was against Larry Bird's Celtics, and they got blown out by 40 in game 1, and then they came back to win the series and go to the finals and lose to the Lakers. But the point is, it's been 37 years since they got that embarrassed. And this didn't exactly look like it could be, this wasn't Larry Bird's Celtics that you were up against. So then my other question was, what is Brett Brown doing? Okay, after it was clear by halftime, you are done. You are wiped out in this game. Do you realize he continued to play Joel Embiid through the third quarter and until the 9-minute mark of the fourth? What are you doing?
Or at least give, normally, especially in a game like this, okay, they're down 21 at the half. At least give them the first 5 minutes. Okay, if we can cut it down to 12, we can get it down to 10.
No.
Then we good.
No.
Skip, you can't take him out there.
Okay. What are you doing? Are you trying to sweat the flu out of him through the third and fourth quarter? Or I even tweeted this. Is it some weird way that you're trying to punish him for looking like he's quitting on his team? No, I'm serious. What are you doing?
But Skip, we just saw the Clippers come back from 31 down. So 21 is not insurmountable.
But when your best player, it's like that night was Lou Williams. Did he have the bird flu or whatever he had?
I agree, Skip. I agree with you. Play in 5 minutes, and if they don't put a dent into the lead, okay, now I sit him. But I'm not going to come out of the halftime and not play Joel Embiid or not play my starters.
That was, to me, very close for Brett Brown to be in a fireable offense. And if I'm Joshua Harris, the principal owner, and I'm sitting, well, I don't know if he's at the game or just at home watching it on TV. He also owns the Devils, as you know. And I would sit back and say, what is my coach doing? I think they've been asking that question at junctures all year long. And I think Brett Brown's on the hottest seat in the playoffs.
Well, why is Brett Brown on the hottest seat if Joel Embiid is sick?
Okay,
or is
what,
he not
what are you
sick?
doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't know. And to your point, it's so mysterious what's going on with him because then he goes over on the bench, and this is such a bad look. It looked like he was looking at a stat sheet.
Right.
And I don't know what stat sheet it could be because obviously the game, it was 9 minutes left in the game. It could be through 3 quarters of stats because they hand those out along press row. So what are you doing reading the stat sheet saying, well, at least I put up decent numbers,
Skip,
right? I was 5 out of 10. I scored 13 points.
You don't need the stat sheet to know you playing like crap.
Oh.
I know.
I mean, so what did he think? All of a sudden he had like 30 and 15? Is that what he thought the stat sheet was going to reveal?
Maybe he's thinking to himself, I don't know. Well, I made 5 of 10 shots. That doesn't look so bad. I don't know.
As if we didn't watch.
But there's that big glaring 8 over there in
Yes.
that far column, which is the turnover column.
But Skip, you know what? You keep harping that he's the best player in the East, while these other players, you see Kawhi and you see Giannis, you see what they do on a nightly basis. And when they have a bad game, they bounce back with a tremendous game. Now, we've seen back-to-back games from Ben Simmons. And see what happened with you, and you fell into the trap in game 2. They won with Joel Embiid scoring 12 points. And everybody's like, ooh, the Sixers. I'm like, they're not winning with Joel Embiid not being dominant.
Okay, what happened in game 3?
He was dominant, 33 and 10.
In 5 blocks.
And then he turns around and all of a sudden the flu jumped on him.
The flu jumped on him, but it had been jumping on him all along because we were told 2 weeks ago he had 2 viruses at once.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one before. And again, when these teams
With
say
West
these
Nile?
things, huh?
West Nile?
Well, it was West Nile and bird flu all together, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Influenza.
Doesn't
I don't
look
know.
good.
It doesn't. And the thing is, Skip, when you get out there, when you're this level of talent and you're on the floor and you're meddling around, it's not a good look for you or your team. One or two things. You're going to have to play all out or you're going to have to sit it down.
Yeah.
There's no in-between at this juncture.
Yeah. Well, to your point about Ben Simmons and the rest, the shock to me was that, again, they go as Joel goes, and he was going so south. The body language that he had was mirrored in every other Sixer last night.
100%.
Nobody played defense last night. I've never seen such poor, shoddy, half-hearted defense. There were a couple of times when Siakam got the ball at the three-point line, and he looked around like, you mean nobody's going to guard me? I think I'm going to make this one. Okay.
Or I'll drive to the basket and get a layup.
I'll get a layup.
Oh, and Kawhi just dunking on everybody.
Okay, can we see that one? It was 2.6 seconds left in the first half. Could we see this one? Right, they roll out the red carpet right down Broadway.
Whoa!
Oh, they kind of look like they half-heartedly were starting to go up. Nobody contested it at the rim.
Do you blame them?
I do. I blame them.
You want to be on the poster?
Hugely.
Do you want to be on somebody's wall?
And Iron Eagle on TNT just went crazy, and I'm like, he just dunked on nobody.
Everybody.
Nobody.
He jumped on the Liberty Bell, Ben Franklin, everybody.
Did he? Well,
yeah, Geno's Philly cheesesteak. He dunked on everybody.
Yeah, well, this was in Toronto, so you're going to have to come up with some Toronto references. And, you know, I was looking at the silver lining for Toronto.
What's the silver lining?
At least they didn't have to worry about having a close, highly contested fourth quarter in which number 2 might disappear.
Don't do that, Skip.
He might miss 4 free throws. He might have 2 crucial late turnovers, and you dodged that last night. You didn't have to worry.
Well, he said, well, I already got 35, so I don't really need to do any more damage.
Really?
Yeah, this game was over.
Did he have 35?
No, he had 21. Nice 21 and 13. Can I interest you in that? Can I interest you in that, Skip? Would you like?
The way he's been
Who's the leading scorer?
You know what, Skip? You see what you do? You see what you did right there, Skip?
Pascal Siakam.
Yes.
Woo, he's coming, right? Woo. Is he not? He just might be their best player. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
You know. You're not gonna say you covered this game since the mid-70s.
I like Siakam a lot.
I like Siakam.
And by the way, he's playing hurt because he injured himself when he kicked right when he.
Yeah,
remember that?
Spoke that a calf injury.
Yeah.
Look, you know the importance of a game 5, Skip. Especially if you can steal this thing on the road, you go home with a chance to close it out.
No, but he steps on the floor and he does not want to be on the floor. You have to stop that. You have to pull him immediately and just say, you're shut down for the rest of the night.
Well, clearly they didn't see him walking into the building. Because if I'd saw him walking into the building, I'd say, son, you're not playing tonight.
I was just going to say that.
Because sometimes, Skip, you got to save a player from himself.
Yep.
Because, you know, it's in us to go out there. We feel we can help the team no matter the situation because they're saying, well, 15, 20% Joel Embiid is better than a Boban.
Boban actually played pretty well down there.
Skip, I mean, come on down. He played the last 6 minutes of the game.
He made 3 out of 4 shots. I was thinking, well, at least somebody did something tonight.
Skip.
Play him.
I don't know. The game was over. Yeah. As you just mentioned, they were down 40. So what was he going to do? They're not a 40-point shot.
Yeah. So the outlier here is game 3. The aberration is game 3, the Mark Jackson game, the game in which Mark Jackson decrees that he should be considered in the conversation with the all-time best big men ever. And I told you the next day, well, I got no problem with that, except the problem is he's always hurt or something. Sure. Now it's not just injuries, it's whatever this other thing is.
And Mark said basically, and here's the caveat, if he's healthy, health is going to play a big part of this.
But he meant knee healthy.
Yes.
Right? Body healthy, not flu healthy.
And my thing is, I don't know if he's going to put the work in, training-wise, nutritional-wise, to be among the Pantheon greats. That's the question that I have. Yeah, the knees. Skip, anytime you have a discussion about, especially a young player early in his career, and you try to project out, and he's having a type career early on as Joel Embiid, injuries are always a factor, no matter what the sport. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be all-time great. They said that about Mike Trout early on. They said he's the next Mickey Mantle if he can stay healthy. So far, so good, knock on wood. But with Joel Embiid, Skip, I'm not so sure that he does the things outside of the arena.
Probably not.
That leads to having great success long-term in the arena. That bears to be watched.
Yep, it does. So what also bears watching is there are 2 days before what's left of the Sixers get to play.
Oh, you know it's over, huh?
Well, I don't think.
You know it's over, right?
Well, I just, you want to talk about the biggest X factor, 7-foot-tall X factor in the history of pro basketball? It's this guy. Because I don't know from night to night. What if game 3 Embiid shows up?
That ain't happening.
Well,
and I could have got me a case of dew last night.
Well, you could have
had.
had.
I could have had a case of dew. I could have, because I told you 20.
And you know what?
No.
Don't come crying to me because you just chicken out. Okay? Don't come crying. Don't bring it up in hindsight.
Thought about it.
You could have, but you didn't. You know, Joel Embiid could have been healthy last night, but he wasn't.
Well, when was the last time he's been healthy?
Well, just 6 nights ago.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe he played through misery that night. I have no idea.
He played through misery.
I don't know.
He gave you 33
maybe that was his Jordan flu game and we just didn't know it. Maybe he needs to be hospitalized and re-diagnosed. Maybe he's got some mysterious illness that we've never heard of before.
Your best player in the East needs to rise and shine. When they play Thursday,
This game is tomorrow
Okay.
night. in Philly.
Well, he needs to show he's the best player. Because all I know is I seen Giannis. Giannis says I'm the best player.
Yeah.
I've seen Kawhi. Kawhi says I'm the best player.
Yeah.
And I've seen them over the last 3 or 4 ball games play like the best players in the East. Giannis played like he's the best player in the NBA. That's what he's trying to say.
Well,
I need to see what your guy gonna do.
Well, Embiid was the best guy only 6 nights ago. And once again, Toronto is a 1.5 favorite at Philadelphia.
Yes.
And it's just like it was for the other 2 games in Philadelphia. So here we go. It's all about number 21.
Can I get some do?
Do?
Yeah, I want to bet.
Well, what do I get? Do I get Joel Embiid or not?
I don't know. He's on the Sixers.
Well,
I'm
we'll
betting.
wait
I'm
until
betting
he
I got
walks
Toronto.
in.
We'll have
then
to
you'll
wait
know.
until tomorrow and see if anybody reports on the West Nile virus he has.
Bet he ain't got no West now.
He might.
Should we be worried about the guy, though? I mean, this is ridiculous how bad he's
Jenny's
been playing.
worried about
Oh,
it.
No, I just mean if you're going to play, shouldn't his teammates be upset with him? Like, why are they not calling him out?
They can't.
They can't.
But I don't. But he should be better than this. He's their best guy, and
Yeah.
everyone's feeding off of his energy,
Okay.
Well,
right?
What energy?
Yeah. J.J. Redick had 3 points.
Yeah, they won't even let JJ shoot it anymore. He's completely out of the offense. The offense now is Jimmy Butler goes 1-on-2 until he finally forces up a shot at the clock. Way to go. That's all you got.
So you know what? It seems to me, since somebody picked the Sixers to win and somebody else picked Toronto to win, the person that picked the Sixers is a little upset.
You know what's
going
funny
on?
about that? All year long, somebody at this desk loved the Sixers, and somebody is not wearing a cool shirt. Somebody's wearing a brown shirt.
But here's the thing, Skip. You have these epiphanies, the realization, the moment.
The moment and the epiphany was you realized number 2, late of the San Antonio Spurs, now plays for the Toronto Raptors.
And I said he missed 22 games.
Yeah.
That means he's gonna be healthy, be able to give you 40 minutes of great ball.
Yeah.
I got to go with him.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one. Is tonight a must-win for the Warriors? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
Don't forget to thank the real pros this Mother's Day. Where would you be without your mom? My mom is a pro at making me feel so loved and taken care of always. She will laugh at me for saying this, but she's also a pro at shopping. She really is my personal shopper, and it's something we love to do together. Then there's my grandma. She's simply the best, always making me smile. And I have so many friends who are incredible mothers. I want to make sure to tell them just how special they are on Mother's Day. My personal favorite bouquet is the Mother's Day Spectacular. It's crafted from their ever-popular stargazer lilies and blue iris and is a spectacular way to celebrate any occasion. A great new baby gift, perfect for housewarmings, welcome home events, and most importantly, it makes for a fantastic Mother's Day gift. Plus, it's only available at Pro Flowers. If the Mother's Day Spectacular isn't for you, Pro Flowers lets you choose from a variety of other bouquets and unique vases that suit every mom's style. Then simply select the delivery date you want. Pro Flowers then carefully packages your flowers and delivers them fresh from the farm with express delivery, which means her flowers stay fresh. Right now, get 1 dozen assorted roses for $19.99. Double the roses and get a premium vase for just $9.99 more. Visit proflowers.com. Click the microphone in the upper right corner and enter my code Undisputed. That's proflowers.com. Click the microphone code Undisputed. Mother's Day is May 12th, so don't wait. Order like a pro and get this amazing rose deal to thank all the moms in your life. I'm honestly going to go make my order right now.
No mercy.
So the Warriors are a 6-point favorite at Oracle in a huge Game 5 tonight against the Rockets. The home team has won all 4 games so far. James Harden has been battling eye problems, but he's still averaging about 36 points per game in the series. For Golden State, Kevin Durant is also averaging 36 per game, but Steph has been struggling shooting just 26% from 3. So Shannon, who you got? Who wins tonight?
I'm going to take the Warriors. Skip, I believe they get Clay going because what we saw the other night is that Steph and KD had 64. I think they combined for 64, and the Rockets still were able to win.
Yep.
They need that missing piece. What sets this team apart is that they got a third option that can go nuclear. He can go get you 60. He can get you 50. He can get you 40. We've seen him heat up for 37 points in the quarter. So we know what he's capable of, but he's struggling. I believe part of the reasons he's struggling, Eric Gordon and James Harden are not easy covers. And he's exerting a lot of energy trying to stay in front of them. trying to fight off screens, trying to fight through picks to try to cover those guys, and it's taking some of his legs away from him. But he's going to have to get going in order for them to win. But the biggest thing is, Skip, Andre Iguodala and Klay Thompson should not be averaging more rebounds per game than Kevin Durant. They're getting crushed on the boards. He needs to be more. He's better than a 5-rebound-a-night guy, Skip. He's better than that. The Rockets are going to the glass. They're beating them up. The last 2 games, they beat them up on the offensive glass. Second chance points has been in the Rockets' favor. Kevin Durant's got to get in there. They can't just rely, because Draymond is averaging 10.5 a game. But Draymond can't be their only rebounder. KD's going to have to pick that up. He needs to be around 8, 9 rebounds a game to keep the Rockets from getting so many second chance opportunities. And look, I expect him to go off again because they have no answer for him. PJ Tucker's doing all he can, but he's undersized. Now, if PJ had that mentality and was 6'9", now I really like to see that. But he's like 6'5", Skip. And KD is 6'11". He don't want to be called 7 foot, so we'll say he's 6'11", make him feel good. Can shoot the ball over anybody. And so I still expect another close ball game. I expect James Harden to dance and do what he does. But I believe the Warriors will win this game and go back to Houston up 3-2.
Interesting. So I said before the playoffs started that somebody would take down Golden State. I didn't know who that body would be. I give Denver a shot at being that somebody. I give Houston, obviously, a better shot at being that somebody. And if they're going to be that somebody, tonight is the best way to become that somebody. Because I believe they have a better chance of winning Game 5 than they would of winning Game 7. That's just me at Oracle.
You believe the nerves would be too much in Game 7, huh?
For the visiting team.
Yes.
You can argue they would mount, the pressure
I
would mount
believe
on
they'd
the
mount
home
for them,
team.
yes.
But I'm not sure about that.
Especially you got to get to the fourth quarter.
Remember, in the backs of the Warriors' minds as they arrive tonight at Oracle is that growing possibility that tonight could be the last game ever at Oracle. It could be. If they lose it and go to Houston and lose, that's the end of that deal, right? So that has to be starting to percolate in the back of the psyche like, uh-oh, and that could make you a little jittery because the biggest shock in this series so far to me, remember, the point differential is the same. It's Golden State's 448 to Houston is 447. So it's 1 point different through 4 games. Check this out. Houston has made 66 three-point shots. The Golden State Warriors, known for living and dying by the three, with the 2 best three-point shooters in the history of this league on their side, they've made only 40. So it's 66 to 40 in three-point shooting. That's a plus 78 points for Houston that is actually 1 point worse than the overall point differential. Right. But wait a second, plus 78 from the three-point line by the Rockets? And again, they live and die by the three also. Well, that's staggering to me because Steph is making 26% of his threes in the first 4 games. Klay's making 31% of his threes through the first 4. As a team, they're shooting 32%. During the year, they made 39%. So think about that. They are not dropping 3 bombs the way they usually do. And especially at home, if the threes start falling, the roof falls in on the visitor, right?
Yes.
Because the crowd goes berserk. And as Rick Bucher brought up, and he lives in the Bay Area and goes to most of these big playoff games there and win all year long, the Oracle crowd hasn't been quite as combustible as it used to be because after a while you get a little numb to winning, you get a little spoiled, and the ticket prices keep going up and you're pricing the common fans out of the arena.
Skip, you know what? I'm paying $4,000 for a seat. I ain't putting no face paint on and be cheered.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Exactly right. So it takes more to detonate the crowd.
Right.
But there's no detonator better than three-point shots from 40 feet.
Yeah.
Especially by Steph Curry. So if that starts happening tonight, all bets are off.
I believe, Skip, and to your point, I believe as Steph hit that shot, that deep 3 that he hit in Oracle, and the Rockets were in Oracle, I believe Golden State would have come back and won that game. Can you imagine he hit a shot down 5 and he hit that 3?
He did.
From 40?
Yeah.
It would have erupted. I believe they'd won the game.
So, what just happened in Houston? Obviously, Houston barely won back-to-back games, barely survived back-to-back. But in the 4th game, We saw the Houston Rockets impose their physical will on Golden State. And we heard Steve Kerr say after the game, they're middle linebackers, we're volleyball players. And he was very open about it. That's the way to beat us, is by beating us up. Houston is capable of doing that, and Houston smelled a little bit of blood. It got chippy, it got downright dirty a couple of times. There was the one play where it looked like KD, because CP3 got under his skin.
He threw the man down.
There was a little bow thrown. I don't know if it connected.
But he flipped it. Skip, you remember he flipped it
did?
down?
No.
Come on, KD, you picking on the man.
Well,
That's clear, brother.
You've called Chris Paul a dirty player because he can be.
But he didn't do anything to deserve that one.
Okay, but he's always poking and prodding, and he's getting under your skin. And KD was losing it a little bit. Like, again, thinnest skin I've ever seen of a superstar is Kevin Durant. That's usually off the court, but on the court, starting to get to him. So, again, will they go right at him physically again and try to rough him up and get him out of his flow and out of his game?
Rough everybody up. Steph, Clay.
Okay, sure they will. And as you point out, they've been beating them up on the backboards. So, again, they're going to take that mentality in this game. Just watch. There may be some early techs called in this game because it's going to get nasty out there.
Well, Draymond, he said we have to match their intensity and for the entirety of the ball game. Skip, you said something earlier that they have the two best three-point shooters in the history of the game. I'm going to take exception. I believe they have one of those. I believe Ray Allen and Reggie Miller are a little ahead of Clay.
Okay, but when Clay gets off, he
no,
goes off
no.
like we've never seen anybody do that.
Nobody can heat up like he can. Nobody in history of the game can get hot like he can.
I looked up the stats yesterday. What was it? He made 9 threes in a quarter.
Yeah.
What? Well, I'm just saying maybe they're the two. Nobody in the history of this game can get hotter from three than those two guys.
Skip, the dude went for 60 in 29 minutes. He scored 37 in 12 minutes.
Okay,
so
that's what I'm talking about. I got you. Overtime, obviously,
nobody.
Give me.
Skip, I'm not so sure anybody's had the nuclear capabilities of Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Nobody can get hot
nuclear.
like this. Yeah, I mean 60 points in 29 minutes.
That's even beyond Steph.
Yes.
He can go pretty nuclear.
Yes, but that's the biggest thing. And you mentioned that they're plus what? What'd you say? Plus 72 in the 3 points?
78.
Plus 78.
78?
So guess what they're doing? They're chasing KD off the 3, making him settle for 2. Okay. So because just imagine if
it's still pretty good too.
Yes, but imagine if it was plus only 58.
Yeah.
Now you might have a sweep in the series, Golden State. I believe either way, Skip, you could have had a sweep either way. Because Houston easily could have won the first 2 games.
Okay.
And Golden State could have easily won the last 2. So we could have had a sweep, Houston sweep, Golden State sweep. We thought we were hoping we got this matchup in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to get it because with 3 or 4 games to go, Houston was in the 2 slot.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, James Harden missed the free throw. Paul George hit the shot. OKC take him down. They slide from 2 all the way down to 4.
Yep.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Golden State will come out on a mission tonight. I believe Klay Thompson will get it going. He must. They need that, Skip. They need a 20-point game from Klay. KD's going to be KD. He's going to go get his 35. And he's getting it so efficiently, you don't even really, I'm looking up and I'm like, he got 39? He got, how? When? And it's not, because he's so efficient. You foul him, he's getting to the free throw line, he's making the shot. The question is, those auxiliary players, can Tuck, CP3, and Eric Gordon, can they offset any production that Steph and Klay going to give KD for help?
And by the way, Tuck is making 43% of his threes as an auxiliary player.
Yes.
That's 6 of 14, not high volume. But my man Austin Rivers, he's made 8 of 15 threes in this series. That's 54%. Could he be crucial tonight?
Absolutely.
These moments are not too big for that young man.
But Tuck is also averaging double figures in rebounds.
Okay.
He's killing the glass.
Oh,
And
offensive rebounds.
Yes.
Oh. So, I still believe the Rockets got robbed in Game 1. They got 6 non-calls on James Harden landing spot, landing zone, that cost them Game 1. I still say that at Oracle this year, Golden State has uncharacteristically struggled. They lost 6 games by 20-plus points. They lost 2 games by 30-plus points. So if you're going to get them, they're more gettable at home than they are away to me. And again, Game 5 I would circle as the potential gettable game because Houston goes in with, dare I say, a little momentum. I know they were close games. A little bit of psychological edge. And again, if you're back to the free throw controversy. Remember, the free throws are the same. So neither team is getting a big break from the referees since game one.
Right.
Because right now, Golden State's made 80 free throws to 79 for Houston. Golden State's attempted 103. Houston's attempted 104. So they're just dead even from the free throw line.
Right.
So forget about that. But in the end, it's about three-point shooting because Steph and Clay have combined for only 5 a game through 4 games.
5 made.
That's what? Yeah, 5 made? That's outrageously low. So if you're right about they'll combine for 10 tonight, then all bets are off tonight. It'll just be Golden State in a walk. But I'm just not sure that will happen. I think they're going to get up into them. I think the pressure will mount tonight even more than it would in a Game 7. And I just, again, if they're going to win this series, they need to win this game. And my gut is they can win this game. Okay.
Every game in this series decided by 6 points or less, so we expect a good one.
No mercy.
We're going to move on to the Cowboys because it seems, Skip, they might need to get a bigger wallet. Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper's contracts are up at the end of next season, and talks of extensions have started. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports the Cowboys have made progress in their negotiations with Dak, and they're expected to give him at least $30 million a year. Currently, there are just 4 quarterbacks making that much. Jerry Jones said earlier this week, quote, "I'm confident we'll get this done. We're sold on Dak." As for Amari, the contract talks have reportedly gotten off to a slow start. His demands have been called, quote, "shockingly high" by the Cowboys. Cooper is apparently looking for more than $16 million per year, which would put him in the Odell Beckham Jr. neighborhood. That's a lot of money. Shannon, how much trouble is Jerry in with these contracts?
Oh, he's in a heap of trouble. A heap. Skip, I don't know if you know how much a heap is, but that's a lot of trouble.
A lot?
Yeah. They're in trouble. And you know what? They deserve to be in trouble. Skip, they should be happy. Your scouting department did an unbelievable job of identifying players. Will McClay did an unbelievable job of selecting these players. The downside of this is that if they're what you think they're going to be, they're going to play well, and then guess what that means? I don't know if you know this, Skip, but as I got older, when I was a young man, my grandma fried chicken. My grandfather got the big piece of chicken. But as I got older, I wanted the big piece of chicken. So guess what? As these guys started playing better, they want the big piece of chicken.
You did not get it over your grandfather.
No, I didn't.
I don't care.
No.
Well, so you wanted it, but you didn't get it.
No, I didn't.
Well, that's the bottom line. That's the takeaway.
But unfortunately,
am I right?
No, Skip. Let me finish.
Yeah.
He passed away, and then I started getting the big piece of chicken. But Dak says, hold on, wait a minute.
Dak hasn't passed away.
No. He want the big piece of chicken.
I hope not. I got to knock on wood.
He want the big piece of
Making
chicken
sure.
now.
Okay.
Skip, it's the going rate.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Going
matter.
rate.
Well, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't done what. So what? Because we saw guys, we saw Matthew Stafford. We saw other guys get, Andrew Luck get $27, $28 million a year. That was 2 years ago. Inflation, Skip, you know how inflation is.
I do.
You can't buy things with the same money today as you could yesterday.
You can't buy a house in Los Angeles.
You sure can. I'm looking. Hey, let your boy get that spare bedroom. Let me get the spare bedroom. Skip,
My house?
Yeah.
I want it
I
in
don't
your
think
house.
that'd go well.
I don't live in Bel Air. You do.
Man, look here. Anyway,
house?
they're already, Skip, here's the thing. This is why they're in trouble. They already have 3 offensive linemen that's making top dollar at their position. They have a defensive lineman that's making top dollar at their position. They still have Jalen Smith going to want his money. Byron Jones going to want his money. Zeke, I ain't even get to Zeke.
We didn't even talk about
So they're in a heap of trouble. And Amari Cooper said, hold on, wait a minute. My value shouldn't be based on your salary cap. Skip, people ask me all the time, man, I want you to do this for me, but I can only pay you this. I said, bro, my talent ain't based on your budget. My talent is what it is. You compensate me appropriately. So Amari Cooper said, I know what y'all thinking, but I appreciate y'all coming and rescue me out of Oakland.
Yep.
But I need 16. I need 16 million. I need that Odell. I need that Mike Evans. I need that Antonio Brown cake. Not that little pilly money, not that little $10 million, $12 million that you're trying to give me. No, I don't do that. I want, he probably going to want something around 85, 90 million over 5 years. He going to want 50, 60 up front. So guess what? You're in trouble. You're in lots of trouble, Skip Bayless, and I love it. I love it.
You know what?
Hard to tell.
You got me. I'm going to recommend that Jerry Jones this afternoon, he should cut Amari and cut Zeke.
Cut it.
Just cut them.
Yeah, you do.
Because there's no way you can pay them, so just let them go. Let them go do what they're
No.
going to do. Let them go find their pot of gold at the other
let
side.
somebody
of
else pay 'em.
Yeah,
think
there's an
stick
end to the
around.
rainbow outside of Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes.
Wrong. Obviously, I'm going to say this again for those out there who are a little naive to what's happening here, but
What's
this
happening?
man wants team-wrecking dissension in the locker room.
I just want people to
He
be paid
needs
fairly.
controversy. He needs issues in Dallas. He needs contractual problems, and it ain't happening. I've tried to enlighten you. There are two areas in which you do not bet against Jerry Jones. You can bet against him in a lot of other areas, but not in these two: negotiations and player relations.
Oh, he
Leads the league in both. And,
Get no argument
and
from me.
negotiations factor into cap wizardry. Jerry Jones is a businessman, as he says, and he knows how to manage his cap. Trust me, he will get all of the above done. Will there be a little bloodshed along the way? Maybe, but he has developed such deep bonds with all these kids, and they're all still kids, that it serves him well through what can become a little bit of painful negotiations. They get a little protracted occasionally, but he always wins because they love Jerry. So let's take Amari Cooper. He wants shocking money. Am I shocked by it? No. But sure, he thinks he's the best. So
He in the catbird seat.
okay. Oh,
He really in the catbird seat, Skip.
there's
Because-
only one catbird seat in Dallas, Texas, and it belongs to Jerry Jones. He's
No.
sitting in it.
But look at Dak. Look at how Dak performed once he got Coop. Coop knows that. You know that.
Hey, what does Coop really know? That he died in Oakland and he went to football heaven in
Okay,
Dallas. Am
okay.
I right?
Yeah.
Chance in a lot
He
of ways.
loved playing for America's team because he loves his quarterback. He loves that offense, and he loves this coaching staff that leaves him be, unlike what John Gruden was doing, where John was poking and prodding him and trying to start his motor and get it to run a little hotter and faster and longer.
I appreciate all that. I appreciate you rescuing me out of purgatory,
Yeah.
out of hell. I appreciate you bringing me to the heaven, which is the Cowboys. Did the check clear? That's what I need to know.
That's what Shannon Sharpe would do, but
That's-
Amari is different. Amari Cooper's got a big, good heart about him. He's a quiet kid, and again, his agents.
What
wish
can I
we
pay
would've
for?
given him money.
What can I pay for with heart?
Championships?
No. They don't eat those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do come back. You can eat those
No, you
championships
can't.
after a while.
You know what, Skip Bayless?
They pay big dividends
Skip, you know
off
what?
the field.
The mortgage company called me.
Yeah.
I was like 5 days late. I said, I'm a 3-time Super Bowl champ. I'm in the Hall of Fame. They said, that's well and good. Congratulations, Mr. John. Can you send us a check? I said, well, I get that right out. Yeah, that's what
No
they told me.
discounts for you?
See, Skip, this is what
You know what? You were really lucky to play with John Elway and Ray Lewis. I gotta say, you were
Okay.
lucky with an attitude like
Yeah,
that.
you know-
I thought you were a team leader.
I was a team leader.
Okay.
Skip, the money wasn't like it is now. But here's the thing. This is what has happened, Skip. You've done an unbelievable job of identifying and drafting players. Now, this is like that housing market. Again, this is before you can get a house. But Skip will know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember that housing market where they would let you get a 20,000 square foot home for $42 a month? But a big balloon payment was going to be coming due. And then when you couldn't make that balloon payment, guess what? They stuck a sign that said foreclosed.
they did.
Well, this is what's happened. Those balloon payments have come due. Now, what you gonna do, Jerry? Now, you can't, Jerry got a lot of properties. So let's look at, and not, I don't want to mean this in a negative context, but Jerry got a lot of properties that he has to pay for. Amari, Zeke, Dak, Jalen Smith, Byron Jones. Now, some of these are gonna go foreclosure, Skip. Somebody else gonna be able to come and get these old properties from over Jerry, out from under Jerry, for real good price. Because Jerry ain't gonna be able to afford them all.
They're not going in.
They gonna they are.
not going in.
So Jalen Smith, woo, he want big money. You said Jalen Smith is a head hunter, a head knocker. Byron Jones went to the Pro Bowl last year.
Yep.
Ooh, he gonna want to get big money.
He'll get paid. He'll get paid.
Skip, you
and-
can't pay everybody.
Yes, you can.
How?
Ezekiel Elliott will get paid. The cap just keeps ballooning up every year. It gets bigger and bigger.
Well,
You're operating like it's 1983.
no. Hey, okay, how about this here? They, with the guys they got under contract right now, they're $121 million already spent with no Dak, no Zeke, no Jalen Smith, no Amari Cooper, no Byron Jones. That's fact. Now, how you gonna pay all them? Now, I ain't lending them any money.
By the way, speaking of Ezekiel Elliott, there is a deep bond that has developed between Zeke and Jerry, and it happened through Zeke's suspension year, with all the turmoil, all
true.
the
Sure.
controversy, the cloud that hung over this
Matters.
team. Jerry fought for him.
Yes.
He fought for him against the league.
Yes.
He fought for him publicly.
Yes.
He paid legal fees. He did everything he could to get him not suspended, and then in the end, Roger Goodell just brought down Thor's hammer, 6 games.
He did.
And yet, the day Zeke was eligible to come back, if you watch that documentary on Amazon, All or Nothing, they had a camera in Jerry's office, and in came Zeke for a tearful, hugging reunion. And it looked very real to me.
Oh, I believe it
and,
was
and
real.
that will pay dividends through a protracted negotiation.
It
will.
Hard. It was hard, Jenny. It was so hard. I was like, "Oh, this is a touching moment. Can I get paid?" You know, that's what I need, Skip.
That's
after,
Shannon Sharpe.
no, listen, Skip. After all the crying, after all the emotions, I'm gonna take the emotions out of it, Skip. I'm gonna take the emotions out of this. I need my paper. I need to get
They'll all
paid
get their
accordingly.
paper. They'll all get
Skip,
what
you
they
can't-
deserve.
Skip, no.
It's
no,
good. And
no,
listen,
you want to pay them what you think they deserve.
You know what they know inside that locker room?
What they know?
They are on the verge of something very special.
Yes, like
First,
big paydays.
first Super Bowl since 1995. What do you always tell me? When was the last Super Bowl?
Yeah, when was it?
It was after the 1995 season and early 96. That's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
They are on the verge of accomplishing just that.
And Jalen Smith said, I'm on the verge of a big payday. Coop says, whoo. Dak's like, man, I'm about to have more money. My foundation that I could do so much for with in my mom's name. Zeke's like, I only got like 4 or 5. I'm in my prime. I need to get paid soon.
And you know what everybody in that locker room realizes? That there's something special going on inside this franchise, because it used to be known for making dumb moves with Jerry presiding. Now it's known for outsmarting the rest of the league, even through the draft. There is a great story today in USA Today. I highly recommend it to all Cowboy fans, because it's about how the Cowboys keep scoring in the draft with prospects late first, second round that nobody even has on their radar, because they all have big red flags. And Dallas keeps saying, well, wait a second, Leighton Vander Esch. I didn't even know who he was, right?
But Skip.
Okay, Leighton Vander Esch he started 1 year at Boise State because he was a walk-on who played 8-man football.
Right.
Okay, how do you explain that? Did you think he was pretty good last year?
Hey, I thought he was unbelievable.
Jalen Smith, second-round pick, suffered a career-threatening injury at Notre Dame.
You took an
You
unbelievable
took a shot,
risk,
right?
And you rewarded.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Boise State was suspended not once or twice, but 3 separate times for various issues. But he just got his money.
Right.
And he was a second-round pick. You think he's any good?
Yes.
Randy Gregory's had all kinds of issues, but they think he's going to play again this year, even though he's still got his drug issues
I don't know
hanging
how he's
over
going
him.
to play. You know,
Okay.
done tested
Well,
positive
but they
again.
say Jerry keeps saying we feel real good about his chances of playing. Second-round pick, did that pay off for you? I think it
Not
did.
yet. Not yet.
How about Sean Lee? I'm going back in the draft, but he suffered at Penn State a career-threatening injury, an ACL tear, and has he been pretty great for them? Yeah. Okay, so they keep identifying all the way up to the kid they just took in the second round, Tristan Hill from UCF.
Yes.
And he fell completely out of favor. He wasn't a starter last year. They left 3 potential starting safeties on the board in the second round because they said this kid is going to be a star. Rod Marinelli bonded with him because they identified him before the draft. Rod Marinelli became like his father figure in the pre-draft. Well, they've become friends with him. That's how close they are to Tristan Hill. So they're saying he's going to be a star that nobody would have picked probably until the 4th. I don't know when he would have gone. Okay, they're smarter. They're drafting so smart. These kids are going to be under contract that you can live with for a while, right?
No.
I'm good.
You want
Super Bowl.
What you want to have happen.
I am good.
You try to determine their value. The market is the value. Amari Cooper knows what Dak is without him. You knew what he was before Amari got there, Skip Bayless.
And you know what? In the end, my biggest takeaway is this is the greatest problem you could ever have because you're acknowledging they're all stars. And yet you have bet 4 cases against me. They won't even make the playoffs. So you are arguing against yourself. How can you pay all these guys what they're worth on the market, which is through the roof? They're all tops at their position. How can you then say this group won't even make the playoffs next year?
I'm counting on Jerry and Jason Garrett to get in the way.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you can have a good dish going, and then you're somebody else like, hey, my grandma used to say, hey, boy, watch that pot. And then I mess it up and it burned. The chicken burned because I didn't know what I was doing.
No, you watched it.
I
A
watched
watch
it,
pot never boils. You
I
know that,
watch,
don't
you
you?
like, boy, watch it. Stir it just a little bit,
Yeah.
but you know me, I'm stirring all the time.
Yeah,
You done
yeah,
messed
you're
it up.
all in.
So I'm counting on Jerry. I'm counting on Jason Garrett.
I'm
Skip,
counting
baby.
on Jerry to get in the way this time because this is what he does best. Watch him figure this out.
30 million.
You're going to sit back.
How you feel about
next
Dak making
couple of
30
months
million?
saying, how did he do this?
How you
did he
feel
do
about
this?"
Dak making
I
30
feel
million?
great.
I
He
know.
deserves
I
it.
told you. No,
Yeah.
you said he gonna get something like 25.
I feel great.
30 mil.
Okay, 30. He deserves it.
Zeke
He'll be worth every
Zeke
penny
want
of it.
15. Zeke want 15.
Okay, good. He'll figure it
Amari
out.
wants 16.
Okay, the cap keeps exploding.
Okay.
We got this.
Guess what's gonna explode?
We got stars. Star power.
Look out.
America's team
Got
is
him.
back.
Hey, let that sink in for a
Yeah.
second. Second round. Went to the second round with all them stars.
Yep. Good.
He's
We
going to
just
be
keep
fighting
taking
for
steps.
these guys to
Yep.
get their money.
Well, we just
It's
won a
something I'm
playoff
sure
game,
about.
and we almost won a second one.
Oh, I thought that's not how it works. I thought that you had to start all over again. So you won the playoffs game, and then so now you win 2, and then the following you would go to the Super Bowl and win it, right?
Yeah, I think they got a real good shot of at least making it to the Super Bowl. Could they beat Brady? Probably not.
Oh, my God.
They're not going.
High
Neither team.
expectations from this side of the
Go.
table. Let's talk about the criticism next that Joel Embiid has been subject to. Is it fair? Is it unfair? Well, his coach thinks it's unfair. We're going to discuss that next.
No mercy.
The Sixers are on the brink of elimination after getting blown out by the Raptors last night. A lot of the blame is falling on Joel Embiid after another bad night. Embiid has only scored over 20 points once in the series, but he's also been battling various illnesses. Brett Brown came to Embiid's defense after last night's loss. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
He was trying to do whatever he could to represent his organization and play basketball for the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm kind of disappointed, like he gets shooken around to me too much. Like he's trying to play for us. He's trying to get out of bed with a significant temperature and come represent the organization. I think it's grossly unfair. Some of the criticism that he gets, I don't understand that. And so it's not ideal. It's, you wished he were at shoot-arounds. You wished he were in film sessions. But he's had a temperature for the last few days that's kept him in bed. And so, you know, take whatever you want out of that answer and end it with, it's not ideal. I wished he was at practice, and I wished he was in some film sessions, but he's sick.
Okay, Rob Parker is with us this morning.
And I'm well.
You're well? You're feeling okay?
Feeling
Are
really
we all
good.
feeling okay?
That's
Shannon.
debatable.
Is that the,
Yeah.
what are you going to wait till my answers, then you'll know if I'm
Then
sick
we'll
or
see.
not?
I want to start with you on this,
Yes.
Shannon. Do you agree with Brett Brown?
No, hell no. What Joel Embiid, he's trying to say Joel Embiid is representing the Sixers in the arena. Skip, is he representing the Sixers in his diet? Is he representing the Sixers in his training? Is he representing the Sixers away? Because once you get to the arena, the work is supposed to be done away from the arena. And then all your hard work that you've done, that you put in, is supposed to be displayed in the arena. Skip, I remember, you remember now, he missed his first 2 years. Knee, back, for whatever reasons. Played 31 games in year 3. Now, in his second year, if I'm not mistaken, he had knee surgery, but he's on stage dancing with Meek Mill. I love Meek Mill, but how is that representing the Sixers organization? How is that in the best interest? See, I don't think he has the best diet, Skip, because it's a big thing. Man, I just got 33 and 16, and I had 2 cheeseburgers and fries. That sounds well and good. But a guy that's dealing with knee injuries, that's dealing with back injuries, that's dealing with foot injuries, you need to have a proper diet. A part of this, Skip, is also doing the things that prevent injuries and prevent you from getting sick. Now, I understand there's going to be situations, but I do not believe that Joel Embiid does everything he possibly can away from the arena that gives him the best opportunity for success in the arena. Skip, we know he can be dominant. We've seen stretches of it.
We've seen more than stretches. We've seen a year of it. But go ahead.
But we haven't seen enough of it. Missed his first 2 years,
Yeah.
31 games, 63 games, 64 games. They
Got it.
play 82. Why is he averaging 30 games a season over his first 5 years? I need to see more. Brett, I get it. But you know what I noticed, Skip? No one says, man, y'all giving him too much praise. I just don't get it. When we was heaping praise on him with that 33 and 10, Brett Bryan didn't come up on the podium and say y'all gave him too much credit.
Or say, Mark Jackson, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That he should eventually be considered one of the best.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
He's trying to represent his organization.
Yep.
But the criticism comes. That's what happens when you're a superstar.
Yep.
To whom much is given, much is required. So the better you are, you're going to get more credit. But when you play bad, you're going to catch this criticism. So I disagree wholeheartedly with what Brett Brown is saying.
I agree with you, Shannon. And here's the problem. When people are sick, right? We're not going to sit here and play the role of doctor or know what kind of threshold people have. Everybody's different.
You're right.
No matter what. So we can't sit here and say that. But if you're sick, you shouldn't play. I mean, because that's what's going to come out. And people say, oh, well, but he gave it for the team. I get it, Shannon. Sometimes you go out there and say, let me go out there and try to see if I can go. Skip, in the Jordan flu game, he didn't miss his first 10 shots with the flu. He was knocking them down. So then that became a legendary game because he was able to play through it.
Sure.
Had he missed the first 10 shots, he might have said, I can't play.
Right.
I don't feel good.
And we would criticize him, Skip, had he lost the game and he played like poop.
Right. He would have got criticized. So here, this is why, and then you go 13 points, 8 turnovers.
Right.
Is that I'm sick, so I turn the ball over, or I'm sloppy with the handle, or I'm just tossing the ball around? So there are a lot of things there that bother me. But I think that sometimes a player has to own up to whether or not he can go. And I think if you're only going to hurt the team, it's not a good thing for you to go out there just for to be able to put on as a badge on, well, I tried to play. Right. No, you're not playing to where the team needs you. You're hurting the team. And the other part, too, is you got to be honest, is Ben Simmons is getting a pass. He had 7 points. Shot 5 shots.
Skip and I beat him up in the first.
Skip.
13 turnovers between the two of them.
Yes. So I'm saying Ben Simmons gets like a pass.
Okay.
How could you be, especially when your big guy's not feeling well, that you could come out and be that passive? But the reason that you're always going to get Joel Embiid is going to get it. During the regular season, he's a loudmouth, and in the postseason, he's been a playoff mouse. So that's why when you talk all that during the regular season and then you don't put up those numbers, whether you're sick or not, people are going to attack.
Okay, but there's one exception to your new rule. Game 3, he was not a mouse. It was dominating.
Yeah, but in the
You saw
playoffs,
that guy.
as Shannon brought up, over 20 points just once. And that's not Joel Embiid.
Okay.
He can do better, Skip.
I have a whole lot to say about this because I love Joel Embiid, and I loved him before his draft. And a member of the Sixers called me before that draft and said, what do you think about Joel Embiid? And I told him, and I can't prove this, but he would vouch for this. I said, Joel Embiid will be by far the best player in this draft if he can stay healthy. He had all kinds of issues at Kansas, with the back, especially the back is the scariest of all.
Yeah, especially for a big man.
It's just scary. So long term, I couldn't vouch there. But I said he is going to be so dominating because he can block shots and he can score at will. So we've seen stretches of that. Now, back to this issue. The hardest part of this job, and I think you're starting to see how hard this can be, is trying to process, trying to decipher just how hurt or sick a player is, because you can't know, and none of us can know for sure what is going on with him. And I've said, you know, this is just pie in the sky, but I've always said, I wish somebody would invent a machine whereby we could all just stick our hand in the machine for maybe 2 minutes and feel exactly what that player is feeling on an injury or his illness.
Well, they do have a machine like that, Skip.
Okay.
They got a machine that can let a man feel like what it's like to have a child.
Okay, well, I don't know, but you'd be able to plug it up to Joel Embiid and say, how sick is he?
I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
I'll pass on that. Yeah.
Don't do that.
But how sick is he? And if you could put your hand in for 2 minutes and say, well, that's not that doesn't feel that bad to me. You feel a little fluish, a little sluggish. Last night was horrendous to me. It was horrifying because he looked like he did not want to be on the floor from tip-off. He looked like he had been heavily sedated somehow. because he was completely out of it. He threw 3 cross-court passes to nobody. Well, you're gone mentally and appeared physically. He's the walking dead. He used to be able to move and groove. He had such side-to-side agility for a 7-footer. He's stuck in mud now. He's the walking dead. So you say, well, what is it? Because it's become the most mysterious circumstance I've ever tried to figure out. Because we had the one aberration game, but they've been saying for 2 weeks he's got a virus. And then 2 weeks ago they said it was 2 viruses. And I'm saying, I was just sort of exaggerating for effect, but West Nile virus, or is it the bird flu, or is it something that's so hard to diagnose that he should be in the hospital right now?
Right.
Because Brett Brown went all the way to significant temperature. This has been going on for days.
Right.
If you have significant temperature for many days in a row, don't you
yeah.
belong in the hospital?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Skip, do you blame Brett Brown? Because after watching him look the way that he looked,
you just pull
as a
it.
coach, shouldn't you
Just say
pull
that's
him?
enough. That's
right,
enough.
thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for trying, but you're not good enough. You're not healthy enough to play.
He played him to the 9-minute mark
That's
of the
what I
fourth
mean.
quarter. What are you doing? So it's like, then we get back to injuries. Remember the big Emmitt Smith game in the NFC Championship game against the Giants at New York?
Yeah.
I'm there, I'm covering the
Separated
team.
shoulder.
Okay, I got it.
That's what it's.
I know. But after the game, I'm in the locker room because I covered the team, and the trainer and a very prominent assistant coach told me, what is everybody overreacting for? The trainer told me half the guys in here play with that same injury every Sunday, the slight separation of the shoulder. And then the assistant coach told me, we tried to give him a shot at halftime, but he's afraid of needles. He wouldn't take the injection.
Sure.
So he was really laying it on thick with the, I used to call him Emmy Smith because he was like an Emmy, right? Okay.
Did you write that?
Yeah, I did.
Very nice.
He would drag his shoulder back to the huddle, and John Madden came all the way down from the press box after the game for the first time in his TV career to congratulate Emmitt Smith on the most courageous performance I have ever witnessed, said John Madden. Okay, was it that? Was it really? I don't know, because in the locker room, they're all just rolling their eyes like, we all do that. Come on.
Well, the thing is, like, the greater you are, the more your teammates expect of you.
Okay, I got
They
it.
expect you to be great,
right.
even when you're sick. But you know what? At some point in time, coaches and training staff have to save the player from themselves.
Okay,
I agree with you,
Because my thing is, okay, in game 2 when he had 12 points, was he sick then? Then he bounces
said
back.
he was.
Yeah, and then he bounced back, Skip, with 33 and 10.
Okay.
And Mark Jackson says, if he's not in the discussion for Pantheon greats, the Russells, the Chamberlains, the Jabars, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Elijah ones, whoa.
It's a crime. And then last night was a crime, right?
But see, I would feel more comfortable if it was just bad all the way without that big game, and then you could say to yourself,
I agree.
Right? You could say,
I agree.
he's obviously sick. You know what I mean? Or something's not right because
So he had the flu in game 2. It missed game 3.
And
It
then
bounced back in 4 and 5.
So you can't, like what happened in between those games? If you were healthy enough to put up 33, I got a problem with it.
I don't know. I don't even know what to think about it because it makes no sense to me.
Game 6 tomorrow.
You believe Joel Embiid put the kind of time into his diet, his nutrition, his body, like a
obviously,
LeBron James?
He's never had to. Yeah.
And
I don't think LeBron did at this age because he hadn't figured it out yet.
His 5th year in the league? Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you got to realize, Skip, when this age, LeBron was 7 years deep. So, yeah, old Bron been doing this thing for a minute.
Can we agree
He
that
is
if
old
he doesn't
Bron,
make
I'll
a
give you that.
change to the diet, if we don't see a significant
Although
change
you know what,
next year, though,
he's not like fat. I mean,
but
he doesn't look like Jokic or
you guys take care of yourself for a reason for the show to perform. There's not a lot of sick days around here. I've noticed that.
Unfortunately, I can't even get
Not
no
a lot of
sick
sick
days.
days.
Skip's
You
never,
have
I
to
don't
be
remember
healthy.
Skip ever taking
Every
a sick
time
day.
you guys say that,
I know,
I don't wanna
but
jinx
Skip,
it.
I'm talking about since 2006. I don't remember you ever
But
taking
that's
one.
because you take care of yourself for a reason.
But that's
and
him.
He needs to perform.
I can't
take
take
it.
it.
I
Well,
know.
I'm not sick. Okay, Skip, I get that you're not sick, but what about me? I'm sick.
Okay, I don't want to jinx it either. Sorry. But it's true. It matters. And he's going to have to really take a hard look at himself to make some changes, or
he is.
he should be embarrassed by it.
Unless he's
honestly.
got some weird malady that's undiagnosable, and they're
different
going to say,
situation.
wait a second, he's got
You're right.
influenza. I don't know what it is.
Let's talk about a different game.
Well,
we've
seriously.
got.
Joel and me, this is not a third world country,
Okay.
Skip.
All right, I got it.
Influenza. We don't want that. Well, James Harden and the Rockets pull off the upset tonight. Looking forward to that one. We'll discuss.
no mercy.
Back to the NBA. We've got a huge Game 5 at Oracle tonight between the Warriors and Rockets. The home team has won all 4 games so far. James Harden has been battling eye problems, but he's still averaging about 36 points per game in the series for Golden State. Kevin Durant is also averaging 36 per game, but Steph Curry has been struggling, shooting just 26% from 3. So we're joined once again by Rob Parker. Rob, who you got for this one? Who wins?
I'm going with Golden State, and I said this before the playoffs started with Golden State. I said this was going to be the Raggedy Andy edition of this team, that they're not going to run over everybody. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle because it's such a long run with these guys trying to play all these playoff games and all that.
Could you quickly explain Raggedy Andy to our viewers, please?
Yeah, to the millennials.
Yes,
Yeah, well, there used to
What
be a
is-
dog called Raggedy, right? What was her name? Raggedy Ann?
Raggedy Ann.
I think I had it.
And then they made Andy was the boy.
Okay.
It was like a little straw doll, right, with overalls.
I think I had a Raggedy Ann.
Right?
Yeah?
And there was Raggedy Andy. So,
Okay.
It was Raggedy Ann and Andy.
yeah, there you
You
go.
can kind of toss them around.
Right.
like
Right.
this. Okay.
So that's why I say that. You're right, Skip. I should
We need to
explain
get a
it.
photo.
But
Got it.
that's what I'm saying is like I'm not surprised. And yes, they went to Houston. You would hope that they could have won one game and then they would have dominated the series, come back and finish it out. But that Houston went and won 2 close games at home, and Steph has been struggling from 3-point.
Yes.
Now both of them, KD and Steph, had over 30 points.
Right.
In Game 4, they came back in the fourth quarter and then they lost at the end. So it's not like they got blown out or blown off the court.
They were in danger of it.
No, but they came back.
They were down 17 mid-third.
Right.
Not the Rockets hadn't gotten blown out in Oracle either.
Right. But I still feel comfortable that ultimately you can't beat them 4 times in a 7-game series. So last year we know it went 7 games. I wouldn't be surprised here if it goes 7 games. Could be 6 if they can really handle this and then go back to Houston and win. So I'm not that disappointed. And the other one is Clay and Steph both need to break out. Those 2 guys just haven't been knocking down their threes. And if Clay gets hot, which we've seen him get hot and put on shows, and Steph can just be more like Steph and not the guy that we've seen, not just the missing dunk, but just his shots aren't going down.
Yep.
They need him to just be Steph.
If
not
you're right
equate
about
Steph.
that, this will be easy for Golden State tonight.
I took the Warriors also
Yeah.
because I believe Clay will finally break out of his shooting slump. But I think a lot of it is attributed to he has to chase around James Harden and Eric Gordon, and that takes his legs out of him. But I think one of the biggest things, the Warriors are going to have to do a better job on the boards because the Rockets are crushing them on the boards. Kevin Durant can't have fewer rebounds per game than Iggy and Klay Thompson. Draymond is giving them everything. Draymond has been unbelievable in this series.
He looks way better.
He looks,
doesn't he? In the
well, he says he's
postseason?
lost some weight, and all of a sudden
Yeah,
that
looks
toe
great.
has not bothered him. He's looked like the Draymond Green
Yeah.
that won Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago, and has been the jack of all trades, really the pulse, the heartbeat of this basketball team. But they're going to have to keep the Rockets off the glass, Skip. They gotta, because the Rockets are beating them up on second chance points via their offensive rebound. And James Harden. James Harden's going to be James Harden. The question that I have when you go on the road, can CP3, PJ Tucker, and Eric Gordon, can they offset any production? Because Steph and Clay, they're coming. They're back home. You normally shoot better in your building. Can those 3 offset the production that they're going to get from Clay and Steph and then turn it into a real auxiliary game where you force it to your bench? Because I like Austin Rivers, I like Gerald Green, I like Nene better than Livingston and what they're going to bring off the bench for the Warriors.
I do too. I said before the playoffs started, somebody was going to get Golden State before the playoffs, but before the finals. And somebody could be Houston, in the game to do it is tonight, Game 5. I'm just not sure Houston could win a Game 7. It may come down to Game 7, as you suggest, and if it gets that far, I'm going to have grave doubts about Houston's chances. Tonight is the night because they just won 2 close games, but they did have a 17-point lead in Game 4. And they did impose their physical and psychological will on Golden State. And as Steve Kerr said after the game, it's middle linebackers versus volleyball players, because Houston's got some middle linebackers. And Golden State's Hampton 5, starting 5, is playing extremely high minutes, as you keep pointing out. And they're getting worn down just from the wear and tear of the minutes, but also the physicality of playing the middle linebackers. There are two teams that are troubled right now in the playoffs, and they're both going to be on display tonight. And the reason they're troubled is because the star on each team, we all assume, is going to link up with the star on the other team, and they're going to go probably to the New York Knicks. And I'm talking about KD and Kyrie. The teams are troubled because both teams believe that the star has one or maybe both feet out the door. And it's hard to win big playoff crucial basketball games when you're not sure if you're all together or not. And obviously, the Celtics have just quit on Kyrie, and I think we're going to see the end of that mess tonight in Milwaukee.
But, Skip, I'll say this. I think the tables have turned in Golden State from this standpoint. I think people looked at when KD first went there that he needed them to be able to win the championship that he wasn't, right?
That's true.
But now I think it's different because Clay and because Steph, they need KD in order to win.
Okay, to your point, they have changed the way they play offensive basketball.
True.
It doesn't look the same. Kevin went there because he loved how they shared the ball.
Absolutely.
It doesn't move the way it used to move, the way it has for most of this dynastic run with KD. I don't see the flow. I don't see the rhythm. I don't see the offensive chemistry because too much of the time it's like, KD, are you going to go or not?
Right.
And you don't see Steph and Clay get into that shooter's flow where the ball's just moving and moving, and they're completely unselfish, and there's no your turn, my turn. Whoever's turn it is just who gets the open look, the open look, and they shoot it with such conviction. Now Steph and Clay are like, should I?
But what separates KD is that KD is a very unique individual, more so than Clay and Steph, because they're not really getting shots off the dribble.
Nope.
Kevin Durant can go get any shot he wants.
And a lot of times, that's what they just do. Just go.
He doesn't need a pick. He doesn't need a screen. He doesn't need a pin down. He don't need anything.
Because he can rise up over anybody. Over two.
Yes. Clay, now we've seen Steph now, hit the step back and all that.
Yeah.
But that's really, he sitting there setting picks for him. And so the thing the dynamic for them is that when KD gets it going early, like he's gotten it going, Skip, how do we interrupt that and run the flow? Because Kevin Durant is going 5 for 5 in the first quarter.
Yep.
He's having 20 points, 22 points at the half. So do we get in the way of that just so we keep the continuity of what we do, ball movement, or do we let him do what he does? Because in all those game threes in which he hit those shots, they said, okay, go ahead, bro, handle that. He's bringing the ball up the court, and they got no problem because we've seen it before. In the Clipper series, what do? They throw the ball there. Go ahead, KD. Do what you're going to do.
Right.
We don't worry about us. They don't worry about the ball movement then, Skip. We don't care anything about ball movement. Go do what you do.
He saved them twice
Yes.
on the road at Staples. He just took the game over
Right.
solo.
But what about Steph and where he is now? I mean, people talk about his impact on the game and people trying to copy. But as time has gone on since KD has been there, to me, he's taken steps back.
Okay.
I look at him, I don't look at him as the same threat. Those shots that used to go down from midcourt, he just would pull up, those aren't going down anymore.
No. Skip. I don't, Rob, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to push back on that. I don't think he's taking a step back. It's just Kevin Durant's taking 2 steps forward.
Okay.
But do you feel the same way about how dependable Steph is? Because I've seen games where I don't think he's as dependable or as dangerous.
They don't put him in that situation. More times than not, if it's a last-second shot, we know who's getting it. It's 35.
Well, you know who took the first last-second shot the other night?
Yeah,
It
it's going to be 35. So it's where he was, for the most part, he was going to be 1 or 1A between he and Clay. Now, he's 1A, 1B because Kevin Durant's taking that shot. And you want the ball in his hand because, like I said, you don't have to run someone to pick someone for him. He's 7 foot tall. He can rise up and shoot the ball at the apex at 10 feet.
And to Rob's point, through the first 4 games of this series, Steph Curry has made 26% of his threes. That's pathetic by his standards.
By his standards.
That's
47,
Russell Westbrook.
right?
It is. It's worse than Russell Westbrook.
And that's what I'm saying. When I look at him, I don't look at him as the same threat.
Well, he's a rhythm shooter, Skip. And like I said, look how KD has gotten it going early. When a guy goes 5 for 5, he has 12 points. You don't get in the way of that. What do you say? You always hear, he had it going, so we just kept feeding him. Well, KD is getting it going. So if you keep feeding him, the more you feed him, you lose your rhythm. Plus, he's gotten in foul trouble. Remember, Skip, he had back-to-back games in which he had 5 fouls. So not only can he not get a rhythm when he's on the court, he can't get a rhythm because he's off the court because he's in foul trouble.
Yep.
And KD just keeps it going.
Okay, so far, Houston's made 66 three-point shots in the first 4 games. Golden State 40, 66 to 40.
Wow.
That's plus 78 points for Houston's three-point shooting.
Right.
That's why it's still very close.
Right.
Because really, Golden State is shooting itself in the foot for the most part.
But Daryl Morey will take that. Daryl Morey says, we built this team to shoot 50-plus threes a game.
Yep.
We don't believe the Warriors can beat us making twos.
Okay, well, that's what's been happening. So here we
Linebackers
go.
and volleyball
But
players.
we all got Golden State tonight,
Tonight.
right?
Nope.
Oh, you're picking.
Yeah, I got Houston.
Houston.
I think this is the best shot for them to break through, so I'll take it.
Remember, we bet game 3.
Yeah.
And you had Houston and I had Golden State.
Yeah.
I'm paying up.
You won a bet from Rob Parker?
Tell him how many wings I win.
50 wings right there. He won. He finally got back
You're
at
so,
me.
thoughtful. You come
Give old
prepared.
lemon pepper.
He don't have
Make
to
a
ask
bet.
me, right? He didn't have to
Yeah.
ask me for the bet.
Lemon
Owns it.
pepper, Skip.
Are you going to eat
Owns
50
it.
wings?
God, you might.
What time are we having lunch?
What you mean the weed? This ain't no weed. This ain't no weed. This is a meat.
He's going all
You're going to eat 50 wings?
Maybe 25 and 25.
You're going to go Joel Embiid here?
I think we need to see that.
Don't
need
say I don't
healthy
pay up my
around
bet.
here.
I think
Wow,
we have
that's
100.
impressive.
No,
Rob.
we didn't have 100.
Hey, Healy, get that tape. I think we have
you
100.
said 50.
No. We
I'm trying to
amended it.
get back because I won the 300.
That's
Healy,
So
we
now
gonna pull the
it's-
tape. We gonna pull the tape.
I'm telling you,
How
it was
much does
50.
50 cost? I don't know.
$50. That's what you got.
$50?
What? $50?
For 50 wings. How much do you want?
I paid like $700.
No,
for
you
your
paid
wings.
300 for the
700.
300.
What kind of wings
What
are
kind
you
of wings are
eating?
you
Just
buying?
take it and enjoy it. Earlier in the debate, Skip, you mentioned the possibility of Kyrie and KD, but
I
what
did.
if Kyrie ends up reuniting with LeBron
Nope.
here in
The-
LA
Nope.
this summer? Rob,
Nope.
thank you
Titles.
for being here, but we
Nope.
got to talk about this
It
one.
ain't happening.
No mercy.
Kyrie Irving's time in Boston could be over tonight if the Celtics are eliminated by the Bucks. Then the focus will be on his future. Vegas Superbooks give the Nets the best odds to sign Kyrie, but that's followed by the Knicks, Celtics, and Lakers. Speaking of the Lakers, Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus writes that LA should push to sign Kyrie to not only pair him up with LeBron again, but also with Ty Lue, who is expected to be the next head coach. So Shannon, which team is the best fit?
Lakers, because we know, Skip, we've seen it work. We've seen it work for 3 years, 3 finals, a finals win. We don't know how it's gonna work with him and KD. LeBron has been very, very like, young buck, do your thing. I know you can dance. Go stand in the corner. Kyrie averaged 25 points a night, took more shots than LeBron James. LeBron James was very cool with that and said it on numerous occasions. I'm just here because I'm going to turn this thing over to this kid right here, and he going to be in charge of the kingdom. So if I'm the Lakers, first of all, if I'm the Lakers, Skip, I make a pitch to talk to everybody. KD, Kawhi, Kyrie, closed mouth don't get fed. All they can do is tell you no. Just let me have a meeting.
They're going to hear a lot of no's.
But don't worry about that. That's when you call your boy in, because I can talk. Woo.
Oh, you're the new Magic now?
I
You're
close.
the deal
I close
closer?
it.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I don't know about that.
Kyrie.
Sorry.
And it looks like Kyrie might be better situated to be a 1A. Because if he goes with KD, Skip, what do you think he's going to be? KD's going to be 1. He's going to be 1A. Go to LeBron. LeBron going to be 1. You be 1A. You going to be able to do your thing. LeBron will take them. I don't know. Can you imagine KD and Kyrie in New York and they lose with that media? Let LeBron handle that thing for you, Kyrie. Come on home.
Come on home.
This
He's
is
not
home?
from here.
Hey, come on home. Come on, man. We miss you.
Come on home.
There is no way Kyrie Irving is going to reunite with LeBron James in Los Angeles. And if he does, I will be so disappointed
Well,
in
what
him,
is it? Why you gonna
as
be
will the
disappointed?
world,
That don't
because
care about
it'll
the
be
world.
such a bad look.
Are you disappointed that KD joined the Warriors? Are you disappointed?
I didn't really care about that because I knew how unhappy he was with Russell
Was
Westbrook.
Kyrie unhappy in
And he just said, look, Kevin Durant said, I'm entering my 10th NBA season. I just want to maximize my opportunities to win rings. And he's won 2, and he could win another one this year.
Well, Kyrie's unhappy in Boston.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not that he's unhappy. I think they're unhappy with
I'm
him.
unhappy with them.
I think it burned the bridge right to the ground the way he tried and failed to lead that
Didn't
team.
he call LeBron and say, LeBron?
He tried to use him as a prop.
He used him as a prop.
He used him as a prop, and it was shameful. It was embarrassing for both of them. And yet LeBron will forgive and forget with anybody. He'll even bring Draymond into the fold after Draymond
friends.
called him
They're
the
good.
B word. Let's become business partners. Thank you for calling me the B word.
Because see, LeBron now a lot alike in these ways.
Yeah.
Because you never let a person hold your feelings hostage because you're in bondage to a person that does not know they have you captive. LeBron James refuses, Skip Bayless. You know.
Hey,
That's
if
interesting,
somebody called you the B word to your face or openly, like in public where a whole lot of people could hear it,
Yeah.
it's
I forgive
gone.
you.
I forgive you, yeah. Are you going to become business partners with that person? No, not ever. Not over your dead body would
Skip,
you do that.
it's, like I said, LeBron is a very understanding. He's a very humble man.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is Skip. Everybody does not possess that ability.
Yeah.
And I need you to find it in your heart. I need you to forgive Kawhi. Kawhi wronged you, Skip. He hurt your team. He let you down. Can you find it in your heart?
I'm out.
Never.
Sorry. Over and done.
Done.
Yeah, done with him. He can go do whatever he wants to do. He the North. He the Staples. He can Staples. And
Skip, you
that's
got
fine
to.
with
Skip,
me.
you got to. Skip, you go to church.
Yeah.
The Bible teaches us.
Yeah, well, this is different. This is
Different. It's different. It's
Yeah.
different than the Bible.
So there is no way that Kyrie is going to forgive and forget because it ended so badly. He wanted out so badly that his threat was taken such to heart by Dan Gilbert that he just said, I can't do this, LeBron. I can't save this situation. I got to take the best offer on the table, and it happened to come from the Boston Celtics. So it wasn't much of a payback, right?
No. Isaiah Thomas, who can't get off the bench in Denver.
Oh,
Can't,
yeah.
You know, but whatever.
too bad.
So the point was that it didn't work the first time. It will not work the second time. And again, LeBron would take anybody right now because he just needs somebody to come and help him a little bit. And I'm afraid they're going to wind up empty-handed here.
Skip, Skip, I'm sure. There have been things your parents told you at the time, and you're like, they don't know what they're talking about. And then you get out on your own and you realize that, you know what? They did know. Or there are something you've done, and you look back and say, you know, I wish I would have done it different. That happens.
Okay. What's the obvious option on the table right
Lakers.
now? No, it's the Knicks. Because are KD and Kyrie besties now? They sure look like they have bonded, right?
Sure.
They are.
He didn't call KD when things was going sour in Boston. Who did he call? Big bruh. Bruh, let me get at you right quick. You got a few moments?
Bro, would you mind if I used you to show my teammates I'm apologizing to you the way they should apologize to me? Because I'm their leader and you were my leader? Okay, got it.
Call the man. He's like, bruh.
Okay, so I can't even understand these odds. How could the Nets be favored over the Knicks?
Well, I thought I was reading it wrong.
Like what? I don't
double-check.
get it. Maybe they know something I don't
what
know.
I was wondering, too.
But to me, if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving went to the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden, and they won the first championship since 1973, would that not live in history as an all-time achievement? And furthermore, you realize next Tuesday night is the NBA Draft Lottery, live, right? You can watch it. And what's going on? You have 3 teams that each has a 14% chance of hitting the lottery. Kareem, Phoenix, and the Knicks. What if the Knicks hit the Zion lottery? What if they have Zion and then KD and Kyrie, you could say, let's go team up with that kid because he's going to be
traded for
sensational.
AD. But guess what? The Lakers going to get that ball, and we going to trade it.
The Lakers
going to get the
ball?
number 1
Then I
overall
would
pick.
know it was rigged.
No, that, Skip. It's been rigged before. So don't do that, Skip. See, why would you say that? Now you got people thinking, we got a chance. Hold on. Is there an opportunity? So let me get this straight. I play the lottery, Jenny. Let's just say it gets to be $1 billion. And the odds are 280 million to 1. If I win, it's rigged? If I about a ticket, I got just as good a chance as anybody else?
Yeah, but you're not the Lakers. You don't need to win.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
I don't need not to win.
Okay.
What the hell you think I'm playing? I want to win.
Okay. The
Y'all
Lakers need the lottery to become the Lakers again.
No, we
right?
just need the lottery because we need a bargaining chip. We need a chip.
I think the Knicks need Zion way more than the Lakers do.
We don't. Didn't I tell you we need him a chip? He won't play one day in the Laker uniform. We trading him.
Okay, straight up for AD.
AD and True Holiday.
I don't owe both of them.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
Well, you got grand delusions here.
Trading for both of them.
Wow.
The New Orleans can start from scratch. They got Zion down there. Ooh, be looking good in the Smoothie King.
What's going to happen is KD and Kyrie are going to the Knicks. I think the Knicks will hit the lottery. They'll get Zion, and all of a sudden the Knicks will be back. They'll be like the Browns, where they become the center of the NFL universe. All of a sudden, the Knicks will become the new center of the NBA universe.
Well, LeBron said he gonna recruit, and LeBron start recruiting. I don't remember the last time he didn't get what he wanted.
Love you, bro, but I can't do that.
Last time LeBron really had to recruit was probably about 15, 16 years ago. He recruited one Savannah Brinson. Really? That was the last time he had to recruit. And look what it is. They've been booed up ever since.
Well, booed up, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. How do you sell Linda Rambus to any of those top?
I don't know.
Seriously, how do you sell that?
You don't got to do. You're dealing with LeBron.
Okay.
We ain't gonna deal with Linda.
Yeah, but KD and Kyrie will say, but Bron, she's running your franchise.
The check gonna clear.
Okay.
You ain't gonna deal with us.
Yeah, but all the big decisions come from Linda's desk.
We get KD and Kyrie, we don't need no more decisions. All the decisions will be made.
I want to get Linda on the show. I need to know
we gotta
more
get
about
Linda.
her.
I do too. I agree.
Who is this
I want
mystery
Jeannie Buss.
lady?
Let's get
I
Jeannie
can
Buss.
just hear KD saying, but Bron, your GM is Rob Pelinka. Nobody likes Rob Pelinka. Nobody trusts him.
No.
I'm not coming there.
We're gonna keep him in the dark.
Oh, keep him in the dark. Oh.
We're gonna be
try to sell that Rich Paul's now running the Lakers.
LeBron, we working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to work behind the scenes. We've heard that so many times. He doesn't want to be in charge. He doesn't
I know.
want to.
But this desperate time call for desperate measures. We real desperate right now.
Yeah, I think you're real desperate.
Yeah.
Well, no Kyrie for you.
you don't want me to be happy. You don't want me to enjoy
It's
success.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad a look that would be for Kyrie?
Who cares?
It would look like he'd crawl back to
Who cares?
LeBron. It would be the ultimate.
People break up and get back together all the time.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he broke up.
Captain and Tennille, they broke up, got back together.
Sometimes absence makes the heart wander.
Sometimes you don't even realize it, Skip, till it's gone. And you're like, you know what? If their opportunity presents itself, the other party hadn't officially moved on, and you can get back in, hey, what you thinking? How about giving us a second chance?
You can go on wishful thinking over there. It's not a rom-com, but
Love will keep
try.
us together.
Yeah.
we'll see. How
Nobody
about
gets that except you and me.
Exactly, the captain and Tennille.
Yeah.
the love between these guys when we talk about Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott? It gets a little ugly, but they're about to get paid. So who is worth the money? We'll discuss those two with Greg Jennings next.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz are about to get a lot of money. It's just a matter of when. Dak's deal is up at the end of next season, and the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports the Cowboys have made progress in their negotiations with him and are expected to give him at least $30 million a year. Currently, there are just 4 quarterbacks making that much, while in Philly, Wentz is signed through 2020. But Eagles VP Howie Roseman said the team is planning on signing him to an extension and would not hesitate to do it right now. But Wentz also, at his last 2 seasons, cut short by injuries and is still recovering from a stress fracture in his back. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Good to have you, Greg.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Who is a better long-term bet? Is it Dak or is it Wentz? Long-term bet.
Okay, I'm going to have someone very disappointed with me in my response to this question at this table.
Who could it be?
Long term,
Don't do it.
it is Dak Prescott.
Oh,
No
thank you.
way.
Because that's
Long-term.
the obvious answer.
Explain yourself.
It is Dak Prescott long term. And for me, you look at a couple things. There's a lot of things you can look at this, but for me, health, if I wasn't concerned about health whatsoever, I would go with Carson Wentz, short term. But long term, talking about durability and also who has the greatest ceiling to climb to, I believe that that's Dak Prescott. And what I mean by that is he has the opportunity to continue to improve in areas where we all feel like he has weakness. Accuracy, his ability to win the big games. He has won. He continues to win. He's won his first playoff game. He continues to build that camaraderie with the guys around him. I think he'll have another year, a complete year with Amari Cooper. This team was built, let's not forget, for Tony Romo. A championship team was built for Tony Romo. He stepped in and he took it over. And he said, no, you know what? This is going to be my team.
He did.
Carson Wentz's issue is his team was built for him. And now he has the Nick Foles looming over his, the cloud looming over his head, to where now he has to overcome that and regain the fact that, guys, I'm the leader on this team. We understand how talented, how gifted he is, the skill sets that he possessed, the accuracy, all these things are great, but he hasn't been able to get it done, and Nick Foles has. So the weight that is on his shoulders is a lot heavier than what is on Dak Prescott's shoulders. This team, again, built around team, not Dak Prescott solely. I like the future of the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott at the helm versus Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz.
Walk it to him is better long term. Walk it to him, because Carson Wentz at the quarterback position is based on what? The ability to throw the football. I don't have to worry about that with no accuracy and all this other stuff. Let me get to some. Last season, Carson Wentz had a better QBR. You love Q. That's your favorite stat. It measures 0 to 100. Jimmy. He loves that. You know, Skip loves QBR. Carson Wentz had a better QBR, better completion percentage, better yards per attempt, better touchdown interception ratio. Carson Wentz had one fewer touchdown despite playing 5 fewer games. Do you know Carson Wentz in his career has thrown for more touchdowns despite playing 8 fewer games than Dak Prescott? If you look at QBR, in 2 of the 3 years, walk it to him, Carson Wentz has a better QBR than Dak Prescott. If you do quarterback rating, 2 of the 3 years is walk it to him. So I don't even know what we're talking about.
Who has the best QBR over his first 3 years? Well, let's just get this on the table.
Are we doing averages?
You're
are
spinning.
We doing, no,
spinning like he tries to spin the football.
No. Oh, he can spin it too. Oh, walk it to him. That's how he got Dak ain't got no catching name.
He can spin it right to the wolf hunter.
Dak got to catch a name. They call him Deacon and Dakin. That's what he got.
Deacon and Dak.
Walk it.
I love that pass. Walk it to him. He walked it right into the wolf hunter's hands. Leighton Vander Esch.
And this is what we know. Carson Wentz's ceiling is MVP. Because that's where he was headed in his second year. What's Dak Prescott's ceiling?
But Super Bowl MVP.
See, that's where my concern is, because we've seen pretty much the peak of where Carson Wentz can get to. We've seen that.
What if that's the peak?
We don't know can he get back to that?
No.
We thought he could get back to it last year.
What have you seen the best that Dak Prescott has to offer?
Now that he has Amari Cooper, we see him. The one thing that I love about Dak Prescott is the timing and his playmaking ability. We can harp on everything that he's not. I've done it. His accuracy, his inability to put the ball in places on the dime, in tight windows. But the Dallas Cowboys went out and got Amari Cooper. And their thought was, our quarterback is going to be better because of it. Did that happen? No doubt about it. It happened, and now he gets a full offseason, a full year with Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and all these other weapons. Added Jason Witten as a security guy. I like what they're doing around him to make him even better, to ensure that what we have moving forward is going to be special.
Thank you. Shannon Sharpe,
what do
you are riding the wrong horse. You need to jump off while you have a chance, because you're going to be riding my horse sooner than later, because we know you jump on the hottest bandwagon, and mine's going to get hotter and hotter. Pretty soon I'm going to be arguing against myself on this show, because he's going to be saying, I love Dak Prescott.
And it ain't going to happen, because what's the love? Dinking and dunking throwing 5-yard routes?
Look, this is a silly question, because obviously Dak Prescott has already proven to be the better long-term bet than Carson Wentz. Number one, as my man here pointed out right off the top, he has proven to be far more durable, because Dak Prescott has missed 0 games. And how about your guy? We got one injury issue after another. Okay, so you're going to bet on him long-term? I'm not. I'm sorry. It's like he's Joel Embiid. Philly's
Don't do
got
that.
2 of them. He's Joel Embiid.
That was
Carson
the
Wentz.
He's
Boom.
a process junior.
Right?
Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip.
Number
fans.
2, Dak Prescott has proven to be far better leader, locker room leader. The voice in the locker room in Dallas is Dak Prescott's. I just read recently in the Philly Voice an article, an expose, I should call it, about the lack of leadership, the issues with leadership for one
He'll get
Carson
better.
Wentz. He'll get better? I don't know about that. And by the way, the Nick Foles cloud, as you call it, is going to hang over poor Carson Wentz until he wins a Super Bowl the way Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and was the MVP and outgunned Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in that game.
Well, Tony
How are you
Romo-
going to live up to that?
Well, Tony Romo is hanging over his head because Dak's not box office.
Tony Romo never did anything.
But is Dak box office?
Yes,
that's
he
what
is.
Jerry said. Jerry said Tony Romo was box office.
So Dak Prescott has played extremely well in not 1 or 2, but 3 playoff games. 3. Carson Wentz has yet to take a playoff snap. Better long-term bet, it's Dak. If I look at the 3 playoff games, he had a 79 against Aaron Rodgers. That's 0 to 100. That's extraordinary. 74 against Russell Wilson. Out QBR'd him. Crushed Jared Goff in QBR, 84 to 57. Last year in the playoffs, of the 12 quarterbacks who played in the playoffs, who had the best QBR? My guy did. Dak Prescott over Brady, over Mahomes. I'm sorry, it was Dak. Over the 3 years that he's played, if you combine all the QBRs, Dak Prescott is 69 to Carson Wentz's 64. Who beat Carson Wentz head-to-head last year twice? My guy outplayed him twice.
What
I'm
happened
sorry.
2 years ago?
Well, he...
Wow, how far back you want to go?
Yeah.
Just 2 years. Because he said over 3 years.
Body of
we,
work.
Yeah, because we're doing body of work.
Body
Body of work
of
goes
work.
back over.
And again, accuracy, I don't know. My guy just set the all-time record for a quarterback in his first 3 seasons of completion percentage at 66%.
He's checking the ball down.
Okay, well, that's,
Greg, will you
does that define accuracy if you hit people in the hands and they catch the
well,
ball? I don't know.
If you're throwing jailbreak screens and swing pass to the running back.
To Greg's point about playmaking, the most game-winning drives, fourth quarter overtime over the last 3 seasons belong to number 1, Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
Most games won, second only to the guy in Foxborough over the last 3 years, Dak Prescott. He just keeps proving and proving and proving. He's the alpha of the Cowboys. He's the playmaker. He's the leader. He's worth $30 million a year. It's just
Oh,
true.
he's worth $30
Yes,
million
he
now.
is.
You say he's gonna get 25.
Whatever. I hope he takes an America's team discount.
No.
You continue to talk about the checkdowns, and I harped on this as well early in his career. And primarily because we talked about Dez Bryant not being able to create separation and get open and really harming the growth of a young quarterback, Dak Prescott. Now you have guys, Gallup, you have Cooper, Witten, young tight ends. Yes, you're going to get these checkdowns, but now you have threats that can get down the field that he's growing with, that he's going to now trust to give him that chance of separation where now I can throw the ball and trust that you're going to get open and go get it.
Tavon
He didn't
Austin.
have these
Pollard.
things early.
You know, hey, all I know is my guy averages 26 more yards passing than your guy. That's what a quarterback's supposed to do. Not rushing.
Your guy looks like
passing.
deer in the headlights to me half
You'll
the
see
time.
this. Yeah, don't worry about it.
See?
They're both
My
good
pool-
quarterbacks.
Mountain, I don't want Mountain Dew, ginger ale.
Ginger
Gonna be
ale?
on you.
I got
to go with
4
my
cases
to
of that.
go with my wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing tastes better with wings than ginger ale. Lemon pepper and ginger ale.
Is that
Ginger ale
really
and
the
wings?
pairing?
I've never heard that.
That's it? Somehow I don't know
Really?
if I believe it. Ginger ale and wings.
I'll hustle Rob. Go hustle Skip too.
You hustled Rob Parker?
I did. Go get you tonight too. One of the games.
I don't think so. I've got you long term. I bet on the correct horse here. I'm winning the Derby. I'm winning the Preakness. I'm winning the Belmont. I'm winning the Triple Crown. I'm winning
got it
everything.
all.
you
Feeling
can win.
good.
You know what? You say it's okay. Because I look at you just like all the girls that didn't want to be with me when I was growing up. You made the wrong investment. You bet on the wrong guy. If you'd have stuck with Shannon, see, I'm on blue chip stock. All I'm going to do is turn. I'm going to give you 5% a year. I ain't no hot shot guy give you 15 one year, minus 25, 5% a year. Set your clock by it. I'm on blue chip stock. That's all I am. You made an investment in the wrong company. If you'd have stuck with O'Shea Incorporated, ta-da!
If only they knew.
I told them. I tried to tell them. You could get with a hero or you could be with that zero. hero.
Oh, this
Well,
man is
wait a second.
comedic.
Right now, you're unaccompanied, right?
Yeah.
You don't have anybody, so I don't know.
No,
Are they all missing the?
Whoa.
right?
Tell me.
Oh,
Hold on, time out.
Wait, well, I'm just saying. Well, wait.
Boom.
Wait, everybody's saying no. Everybody's saying, well, I don't want any part of that.
He's shooting at you, Shay.
Why you putting my business in the
put it
street?
out there.
I ain't putting nothing. I said before. I ain't talking about now.
I thought we were talking truth here.
You know what's getting better? You be dry snitching. I can't tell you anything.
I'm just
I
glad
tell
it's
him-
not coming
I
from
tell-
me.
You know what?
I love it.
If
Smith.
they all miss the boat, people keep missing the boat. I don't know.
What if I got some options?
Okay, I'm sure you got a bunch of options
Nah.
Do tell.
I might be booed up here in the next couple of weeks.
in a couple of weeks. You found your Savannah?
I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
I don't really want this to end, but should I say this,
right?
Shannon?
Put it like this: I'm
Go to break?
auditioning. I'm auditioning. You know, some people don't fill out their paperwork and got it back to me in a time.
Do not say auditioning
Yeah.
when it comes
Some
to
people are just solo acts. They
Yeah,
are, you know? Come on.
Oh, you a solo
It
act?
happens. No, I'm not.
Exactly.
I am
No, ain't no,
not.
hold on. Ain't no solo act.
Yeah, well, some people are just better that way. I don't know.
I'm better with or without.
With or without?
With or without.
It's a tough audition.
Yeah,
process, I can imagine.
I'm tough to get along with, but I'm very loving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very
Is that
loving.
your, what says? It's on your
Understanding.
dating app? Tough to get along with, very loving. All right, I think we've given you enough of a hard time. Greg, thank you for joining us. Are the Nuggets looking like a real contender? We'll discuss what they're up to next.
No mercy.
The Nuggets dominated at home last night to take a 3-2 series lead on the Blazers. Nikola Jokic was great again, 25 points, 19 rebounds. Paul Millsap added 24. Denver is now a win away from a spot in the conference finals for the first time in a decade. So, Shannon, how big of a threat are the Nuggets to win the West?
I don't believe they're a big threat. I believe the Western Conference Final is their ceiling, Skip. I don't believe they can beat the Warriors or the Rockets. They went 1-3 up against both of those teams this year.
Interesting.
With Joker and Murray, I believe they can get a game, but I don't believe they can beat either one of those teams to advance to the finals. So I believe the Western Conference Finals is their ceiling.
I got to say, and maybe this is because I love the Spurs to a fault, but this team won me over against my team by beating my team, and it took all of every drop of 7 games to do it, and they split in the regular season, so you can say, well, they're just barely better than the Spurs. But I thought the Spurs could advance to the Western Conference Finals, but I told you that the toughest series is going to be these guys because Jokic is real. He is getting better by the dribble. And I remind everybody, even though he's only 24 years of age, he played 2 years of pro basketball in Europe.
Right.
He looks like a man to me. He plays like a man to me. He is not afraid. He is playing on a level that very few big men have ever played on. I used to say Tim Duncan was the best passing big man I ever saw. He's not in this guy's league. I'm sorry. I used to say Bill Walton. I know a lot of people don't go back that far, but Bill Walton was just an artist with the basketball at UCLA and for Portland. Remember, he was an MVP and they won it all.
Finals
Yep,
MVP.
he was. And he could really wheel and deal with the basketball, but not like this young man. And he is a man, can wheel and deal. I look up last night, he's throwing full court football passes for touchdowns. He's dishing, he's no-looking, they're playing, the whole offense runs through this 7-footer.
He brings the ball up the court like a guard.
Just unbelievably gifted with the softest hands for a 7-footer I've ever seen. He tips as sweetly around the basket. He can stand flat-footed and just tip it in because he's got feel for it. He's got anticipation.
And he does all that with a 5-inch vertical.
I don't even know if he's got 5. I think you're giving him an inch.
You might can slide a
maybe
sheet of notebook paper.
Maybe.
Right under there?
Yeah, that's about all
I got you.
Little
But
something.
he's playing on another level of artistry. And then I keep hearing the Nuggets are the youngest team in the playoffs. They're the 8th youngest team ever to make the playoffs. And then I look at Paul Millsap. He's been in the league for this is his 13th year. And he's a man. You want to talk about playing man-sized
He finally
basketball?
came to play last night.
Woo, did he?
Yeah.
He's a bull in the low post, and he's got he knows all the slick moves. And he is so hard to uproot from the lane. And then I look at Mason Plumlee comes in and plays 20 minutes a night. He's 29 years old in his 6th year. Is that a kid to you? And I don't like Jamal Murray because of what he did to my Spurs, but I am grudgingly giving in to him because you want to talk about clutch shot making, free throw making, and he's in his 3rd year and he's playing like he's in his 10th year because he's a man. He knows how and he's not afraid. And he has that supreme arrogance about him, and it's starting to translate into their whole team feels like they got a chance because they got Jamal and Jokic. And when those two start playing pick and roll together, because they can both look at what Jamal didn't he have 9 assists last night?
Yeah, 9 assists,
Woo!
18-95.
Okay, all right, that'll work. And then they just come in waves of young athletes. And as unathletic as you might say Jokic is, every time I look up, there's another Torrey Craig or Will Barton or Monte Morris or Malik Beasley. They're just coming in waves. They defend at a high level. They're going to be a tough out. Again, is it possible Portland comes back and gets them? I don't think so, but it's possible because Portland's loaded too.
Right.
They got firepower.
Well, Portland didn't shoot the ball. Dame and
No,
CJ
they
didn't get
did
off the
not.
great starts last night, and the Nuggets rode that momentum. They better be careful now because the Nuggets are playing with supreme confidence. Portland's gonna have to be on their best behavior. They're gonna need a virtuoso from Dame, and CJ's gonna have to play well because they have no answer for Joker. I mean, Aminu, Cantor, they can't battle him down on the block.
Well, it's funny because Cantor always got blasted for his lack of defense in Oklahoma City, and now he's your last line of defense against Joker?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Well, if you can't stop him, Skip, you're going to have to offset some of the production point-wise that Joker's giving his team. You can't let him outscore you, 25-9?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. Yeah, Joker had 25, and Cantor had 7.
Yeah.
You can't get outscored like that, Skip. Because you remember the one big game, I think he had it against OKC, he was 25-18.
I know.
He needs those type of ball games to offset the production because Joker is almost averaging a triple-double in this series.
I got you. And Mike Malone, for whom I haven't had the most respect, he has become the best post-game interview in basketball.
He's unbelievable.
He just opens up his heart and just pours it out on the table. You know, like
He is good, yeah.
it's from the soul what he
Can
talks
you
about.
believe the Kings fired him?
I don't know. I can't believe a lot of things the Kings have done.
Oh, they fired Yogurt. They just fired another
Jaeger,
coach.
yeah.
After he almost got him in the playoffs. And what the Kings might be one of the youngest teams.
Well, they got Luke Walton. Okay, way to go.
Okay. Okay.
So Mike Malone, I never had that much respect for him as a coach, but he is growing on me like this team is because they feed off him, off his even keelness because he doesn't get too high or too low. And he's making a lot of nice strategic moves, a lot of nice rotational changes. And all of a sudden, this team, it is arriving. And as you know, the NBA playoffs are about star power.
Absolutely.
Jokic is a star, man.
Oh, yes. Oh, he about to be a superstar.
Like super.
Yes.
Superstar.
Man, they can't put Isaiah in, man. They can't get no time out this, Skip. I mean, they're about 40 points, and IG can't get no playing time.
I feel sorry for him. Boy, did he not miss his boat. Whew.
That's why Kawhi wouldn't go back out there.
But still.
That money. The man playing through. His sister died tragically.
How quickly it changes.
Yes. $100 million.
He had a career-threatening hip injury that finally required surgery.
But he played through it.
The other guy had a thigh bruise.
It could have been had he played through it, it could have been career-threatening.
But for you to say that Denver is growing on you,
well,
Skip,
I just can't help it. And again, sometimes it
says
happens
a
to me
lot.
where they beat my team and you start thinking,
you're like, okay, I want them to go. No.
Okay, it's not like that.
They're
I watched
testing
them
you.
so carefully against my
Sure.
team where every big moment, those two guys, Jamal and Joker, they just took the game over. And in the end, I said they had the two best players on the court with my team on the court.
Joker is one triple-double away from tying Magic Johnson for the most triple-doubles in his first playoff appearance. Let that sink in. Magic Johnson, Nikola Jokic.
You got it.
well, Denver might be growing on you. Toronto, not so
Toronto,
much. Are
why
the
growing on me?
Sixers officially done after their loss last night? We'll discuss that
The
next.
claw, no.
No mercy.
So the Sixers are one loss away from elimination after being blown out by the Raptors last night. There's a lot of blame to go around in Philly. Joel Embiid only scored 13 points and had 8 turnovers, while Ben Simmons was just as bad. 7 points, 5 turnovers. Game 6 is tomorrow in Philly. So, Shannon, what shot do you give the Sixers to win tomorrow and stay alive?
Is Joel Embiid still sick? If he is, 10%.
we don't know.
10%. Let me ask you. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down to 5. Ben Simmons gonna develop a jumper between now and then. Okay. I'm liking Toronto. Might be willing to get me some dew out of this because I think you like Philly.
Well, you make those gutsy.
I think
You go out on those limbs, right?
Really pushing it there.
I'm just so disappointed in the Sixers. Let's just give them, for the sake of argument, Joel Embiid was sick. What they got to do with Jimmy Butler? What they got to do with Ben Simmons? What they got to do with the other guys? They weren't sick. Unless what he got contagious, then he should have been stayed at the hotel so not to infect anyone else. So I give them a 10% chance. They look like a demoralized team. A team that we see something like this get maybe game 1 because you remember the Memorial Day Massacre.
Yep.
That's game 1. But not game 5, be down by 40.
Yep.
Nah. So with that being said, I'm really starting to like the Toronto. Kawhi only had 21 points, but when you're up by 40, you don't need what he normally gives you, which is 38 points, 9 rebounds. 21-13 is not all bad, but it just let you know what he's capable of. Now, if they need that virtuoso, which he gave him on Sunday, he'll give it to him again tomorrow.
Virtuoso?
Yeah.
Wait, the fourth quarter in which he missed 4 free throws and had 2 late crucial
Don't do that,
turnovers?
Skip. Don't do that.
Know.
What about
I saw a different game. I don't know.
What about them 30? What he had 35 points in the first 3 quarters. He had done that damage, hurt him, took me soul.
I picked the Sixers to win this series, and I'm going to stick with it. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'm going to stick with it because I still say, as a group, the Sixers are mentally tougher than Toronto's group, especially stars versus stars, because I still don't quite trust number 2 in the biggest moments.
I do.
Okay, well, I don't know why.
Didn't you see him in the finals? Isn't he a finals MVP? Didn't he show you something?
He's playing with Tim, Manu, and Tony.
And I remember you told me in 2017 he had surpassed LeBron James.
As a two-way player. Yeah, that was in the early rounds of the playoffs. That was against Memphis in the first round.
What about against Houston?
Well, he somehow couldn't play the closeout game.
What?
Don't ask
You
me
know
how.
why he couldn't play, Skip.
Well,
you know the man ain't gonna
He didn't want to. And by the way, without him in the closeout game, they won by 40.
Okay, with him.
How do you explain that?
With him in game 1 against the Warriors, you're up by 23, and then when he leaves, within 2 minutes, they had took 15 points off that lead.
And then a tough guy would have said, Pop, I'm going to play game 2. I'm just going to play. Nope, we're going to shut you down.
Hold on. You see what tough guy got? Look at Joel Embiid. You see what we talking about?
Well, he tried.
Out there when you, no, I won't do no try. We don't get no effort here.
Yep.
This ain't kindergarten where you get a star for coming to class. No.
So over the next 48 hours, obviously, that man, number 21, is going to get shame beyond shame in the city of unbrotherly love, right? Because they're going to be all over him. What are you doing? What's the problem? If you step on the court, you're good enough to play. You're healthy enough to play. You're unsick enough to play.
Right.
Well, I don't know what happened last night because I couldn't even recognize that guy. So if that guy is in the same situation, if he's on his quote-unquote deathbed on Thursday and he can't make it to the shoot-around or to the film session and he's still running a fever, as Brett Brown said he was yesterday, then he's out. And I would give this team a better chance without him than with that guy we saw last night.
Skip, if you notice when Brett Brown was giving his dissertation about how sick, he was like to say he had a fever over, he was about to say like 100, like, I better not say that.
He said he had significant temperature.
Yeah.
Does that mean 98.4?
5.
Yeah. I don't know.
At the end of the day, it comes down to did you or didn't you? That's what the playoffs are about. This is not well, you had one game and somebody, because Skip, in football, the best team doesn't always win. The team that normally plays the best will win that particular day.
Yeah.
But in 4 games, to beat, so you can't hit 4 buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
You can't get 4 steals or anything of that nature. So you get 4 chances. Toronto's the better team. Their superstars played better overall. Kawhi is a superstar. So, and he's played the best through 5 games, better than Joel Embiid.
I'll take Joel Embiid any day or night over that guy.
You better
any
not.
day or
You better
night
not.
when he is right.
You better not.
He wasn't right last night, and his team mirrored his lack of body language.
And my other guy, Antetokounmpo.
Okay, fine. All I
like
know
how you
is
say it.
Jimmy Butler is a tough guy.
He is.
All I know is I've seen Ben Simmons be a tough guy when his button gets pushed, when he gets backed against the wall and he gets challenged by Jared Dudley. I saw him respond to that. Maybe he's going to get shamed enough that he'll say, okay, watch this.
And what Kawhi gonna be doing while he's saying, watch
We'll
this?
see. We'll see.
You know Kawhi don't play that.
Okay, we'll see. J.J. Redick is a tough guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. He fell completely out of the offense last night, and I didn't get it because he's been shooting the heck out of it this
Yep,
series.
yep.
Agree.
So let's just see what happens to that tough guy. If there's, let's just say Joel Embiid can't go. Let's see what happens at home with pride on the line. We're going to make one last stand against these Raptors.
Toronto showed you why they were the number 2 seed with their depth. They had 6 guys in double figures, and everybody played well. Danny Green went 5 of 7 from the three-point line. He gives them another performance like that. They're getting ready for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, let's hope he's
I
right.
love Danny Green, but every once in a while he does one of his 1-for-9s. He does.
He already had that.
Okay.
Okay, enough of that game. We have a huge Game 5 at Oracle
Do we?
tonight. These guys will make their picks.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. We've got a huge Game 5 tonight between the Warriors and Rockets. Houston has won the last 2 to even the series, led by James Harden, but right now Golden State is a 6-point favorite. Shannon, what will be the final score tonight?
I believe this score is going to be a push. I got 121-14 Golden State. Another close game. Warriors eke this one out. I believe Clay gets his shot going, and that will be the difference in the ball game. 121-14 Warriors come out ahead.
So you can't even pick a side on the spread. You're saying it's going to be a push. That's gutsy.
Look what I
That's
had.
courageous.
Look at my score.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he had.
Well, you picked the push.
No,
you knew what the spread
I know
was.
I didn't.
21.
No, I didn't know what the spread was.
We all knew what it was
No,
before
no,
the show.
I did not.
I think it was 6 yesterday.
really?
No. I don't look at the spread.
So, the average score of this series so far has been Golden State 112, Houston 111.8. That's the average score. I believe Houston will win this game tonight, and I'll call it 112 to 111. I'm right on the average score. And I believe somebody's going to have to hit a big late 3, and I'm just going to go way out on the end of the limb just because I root for him. I say Austin Rivers is going to hit the shot of shots tonight that will put Houston over the hump in this series. It's going to be extremely physical. I think Houston will try to play football, basketball. There will be early techs, and it will go all the way to the wire. Photo finish.
Can I get some ginger ale?
Nope.
No ginger ale? No dew on this one?
Ginger ale. I don't
We're
drink.
going old school.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.